And good evening. It's Friday Night Fate returns. We are live on Roll for Change, where we will be raising money for the ACLU this quarter while my players burn down the city of Portland, Maine. Possibly not on purpose, possibly only on accident. We'll see. I will be the Dungeon Master / Game Master for this session. I am Adam. I use he, him pronouns, and you can find me on the Twitter at Adam_J_Pearson. And I will let my intrepid cast introduce themselves, starting with Selena.
Okay. Hi, I'm Selena. I'll be playing Nikki, the werewolf. She's just a werewolf. It's fine. And you can find me at ABCDFAR on Twitter. And I'm just happy we're back. It's fun. That's me.
Excellent. Continuing on, we will move across the way to Zach.
Hey y'all, I'm Zach. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Andy, who also uses he, him pronouns, and is the self-appointed wizard dad of this wonderful disaster family we have. And I'm real proud that the thing that happened at the end of last season wasn't our fault, because so many other things are.
It's true. It's definitely the opening line of Dresden. The building was on fire, that it wasn't my fault this time. Continuing on, we come to CJ.
Hey everyone, I'm CJ. I'm Commander Pulsar on Twitter and Twitch, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited. I have a whole weekend of games now. I went from like nothing to a full slate, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm also very glad. I was going to sneak into this building and try and rescue a guy, and jerk-ass decided to spoil that rescue attempt by blowing up the building and escaping on his own. Not cool. I had to replace the windows in my car.
Not cool indeed. Continuing on, we come to Danielle.
Hello, everybody. I'm Danielle. I write Raconteur on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Harmony Ward, resident wizard disaster.
Indeed. And last, but certainly not least, Nick.
Hello, I am Nick. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Percy Hamilton, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is old man detective who talked to ghosts.
It's true. It's what he is. Percy is definitely an old man that talks ghosts. And that rounds out our cast for this evening. So we begin in season 2 of the Portland Files. Last season, we had a plethora of shenanigans that happened. There was intrigue in the Fey courts. There was intrigue in the White Court of vampires. There were necromancers running around, Black Court vampires running around, no Red Court vampires to be seen anywhere. Not very surprising, given the state of the world. And something to do with druids and this little city called Atlantis. The party made their way through Portland in various ups and downs, zigs and zags, and managed to discover that one of the founders of the great city of Portland, Maine, was a phoenix. And one of the resident wizard spirits, named Al, tasked our own Nikki with discovering and figuring out where the phoenix was hiding, because they had been missing for some time.
Definitely not stressful at all.
It also came to light that a certain individual that seemingly goes by the name of Niccolo is the one that put Al on the task of finding the phoenix. Some kind of ally, maybe. Harmony went on a date with him.
Date?
Or it. We're not sure.
We're not sure. No soul, though.
No soul, though, because there was a potential soul gaze that didn't happen.
Great. It's all
And
great.
finally, the party managed to discover a lot of information about this Phoenix, their bolt hole, and were on the way to resident Yara International, which is a conglomeration of Svart elves who maintain a very rigid and draconian peace in the city of Portland, Maine. And as CJ/Cole mentioned, they were going to try and sneak in and steal the Phoenix away from Yara when all of a sudden, like someone had pushed a button on demo charges, the building exploded and began to crumble in on itself. Seeping out of the cracks that was the remains of the building was a creature breathed and made of entirely of fire. They reformed themselves into a completely different person that you'd ever seen, a woman of apparently African-American descent, and I believe it was Cole, or no, it was Andy who offered a coat because she was stark naked because she had just reformed her body in the middle of the city. And so where we begin this lovely evening is it's 2 weeks later. The building is gone, and what you know is that Yara International is gone. The news has been abuzz with what could have potentially been happening in downtown Portland, and the leading story currently is that it was a planned demolition for a renovation that had gone horribly wrong. A stray radio signal had messed up the setup for the demolition. This was planned months in advance. The permit papers were shown on the news, as were the pictures of the charges being in place where they're supposed to be, and it was on an unfortunate and terrible accident, which supplanted the story that this was some kind of terrorist plot to destroy Portland. Nowhere, though, is there any news that talks about a group of people who walked away from the scene with a woman that had suddenly appeared and reformed out of fire. And what also hasn't been in the news is that Portland is basically in barely controlled chaos in the supernatural community. The watchdog and draconian enforcers of the law are gone now. Their contract null and void, and they have pulled out because blowing up their headquarters is apparently written into their contract as the way to get them to leave. And so, with Yara gone, the city of Portland is on the brink of a massive power vacuum waiting to be filled. And there are just so many things that go bump in the night, eager for the chance to jump into this new power of Portland. So, all of you, as Zach swears in the chat, you have had 2 weeks to digest what happened. Whitney has been sleeping for most of it. She comes to occasionally for a few hours at a time, but it seems as though exploding and reforming oneself is a tiring process, and she's not fully recovered. And so she hasn't really been able to offer you much. The things that she has been able to offer you, however, because I'm guessing your first question is, how the heck did you get inside of Yara International? Is that she tells you that a woman that is eventually described to you in a manner that lets you know that it's Abigail, has smuggled her into Yara International and locked her in a steam room without her being able to get free.
Wait, Abigail or is it Annabelle?
Or excuse me, Annabelle.
Confirming.
Different name. Sorry, Annabelle.
Great.
Yes, and so you now know that Annabelle was behind kidnapping the Phoenix and smuggling them into Yara International, and essentially waiting for them to explode. That they had somehow learned that this would happen, and that they learned somehow that blowing up the headquarters was a way to get Yara International to pull out of Portland, Maine. Because who reads those contracts? Fey contracts are so difficult to read. So we begin, like I said, 2 weeks later. and you all are wherever you would like to be. So, what have you all been up to in the 2 weeks since Yar International exploded?
Panicking.
It's just a straight 2-week panic.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Andy's having a good long panic.
Ah,
There's a montage of Andy breathing into a bag.
yeah, for sure.
Like time passed, the clock hands moved.
Actually, I imagine that one thing Andy has done in the past 2 weeks is probably tried to reach out to Warden Dresden, even though he doesn't expect anything to happen.
We'll get there.
Okay, great. To say like, hey, so everything is upside down.
Everything is not great right now. Please,
Help.
please help. Help.
I
Yep.
don't
Need more
know.
authority here.
I need an adult.
That message is definitely sent and received.
Sweet.
You get word that you will be your call is important to us and it will be answered. And that as soon as Warden Dresden can get away from his duties, he will be sure to stop by the Northeast.
This will be great.
Oh, fun.
This is a window of opportunity here, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Harmony probably spends the 2 weeks alternately working on strengthening the wards of her and Andy's condo even more, like knowing that chaos is bad, and also working on the tablet
Okay.
while we've got some downtime.
Okay. Interesting. So as far as that tablet working, why don't we have you roll, we'll say 2 lore checks.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
See where we are with that.
Ooh. So the first one is a +5,
Okay.
and the second one is a +4.
Nice.
Superb.
So a superb and great roll.
Correct.
And so with most kind of extended tasks in Dresden, this is more about like time rather than actually succeeding or failing. It's how long does it take you? And with a superb and a great roll, you make a decent amount of progress in the in clocks for sure. You learn more about the underpinnings of this tablet. You don't really get into specifics, but it definitely feels like this tablet has some kind of primal control over life and death. That it's not necromancy, because as a wizard, you would understand the underpinnings of necromancy, and that it gives a weird, as they say in the books, it feels weird.
Mhm.
It feels different. This doesn't feel like necromancy. This feels like some kind of use for spirit magic that isn't currently either in vogue, or maybe people don't know about it anymore. Like this is like some kind of practice that people could use spirit magic and they don't remember how to do it anymore, or it was erased from memory, or the people that knew how to do it all died out, so no one knows how to do it anymore. But that this tablet has some kind of weird link to life and death and spirit magic is kind of what you're getting.
Okay.
Which obviously raises more questions than it answers. Which any good research project, that's what happens.
Yeah. Gave you a stink eye because I think I maybe know where you're going with this now. I'll talk
Over the
about it
2
later.
weeks.
You had to say that out loud. So now it's whatever you're thinking is definitely not it. I just promise you.
Never know.
Andy would have gotten a hold of Nikki
Mm-hmm.
to ask if it's a big ask, but if we could maybe move Whitney out to her pack, because she might be honestly safer out there than she is in the city.
I can try talking to them. I don't know how they'll feel about having an outsider there.
I
Well,
kind of am
outsider.
assuming that she's at Andy and Harmony's house
The
otherwise.
safest place. We've got wards.
Kind of what I was
Yeah.
assuming.
I mean,
And as much as Andy would rather have her there to like keep an eye on her, he also likes his house and doesn't want it to explode.
That's
At some point in the next 2 weeks, Whitney can assure you that she will not explode anytime soon.
Okay, great.
And by soon she means like in the next 40 years.
Cool. Okay. I mean,
Oh,
still
man.
though, there's also Annabelle, who may or may not know where she is.
Or may not be in Portland anymore.
Well, yeah, there's that too. We don't
I
know where
mean,
she. I mean,
You don't know
the
where
characters
she is.
don't know where she
we
is.
don't know where she is, though. I'm assuming she's basically got everything she wanted for Portland. It's in freaking chaos, and people are at each other's throats. This is exactly what she thrives on. So she's probably feeding like a tick.
We still don't know what that does to her, really.
What, feeding like a tick? She probably gets like gigantic.
Really, you okay?
Spiritually gigantic.
Yeah, that's bad for all of us.
I didn't say it was good news. I'm just saying.
It's
You all told
news.
me she has some other form that she turns into, or whatever.
Oh no.
I can only
Doesn't
assume
everybody?
that. No,
Is this turning into an anime?
this is not my final form.
So okay, we can definitely address that. Nikki, do you do anything else during those 2 weeks other than try to contact your pack?
I was definitely gonna be looking for Annabelle.
Okay. So I will say a couple things. You can roll me. Oh no, the DM has to remember what the skills are called. I would say either an investigation for like finding them.
Mhm.
If you wanted to try a contacts roll to see if anyone's seen them, that could be something you could do to find rumors. Otherwise, yeah, that's probably about it. Or I guess I would let resources also, like if you were going to try and like bribe people to tell you things,
Right.
any of those would work.
I'm gonna go with investigation. Okay, that's a wash from the roll, so it's just a 3.
Okay, so just a 3.
Wait, sorry, misread it. So it's actually a 5. Sorry.
It went from being good to superb. It's fine.
Yep.
So you find an absence. Everywhere you look, everywhere you check in with anyone that you talk to, they haven't seen that person in 2 weeks. They are seemingly gone. Now, whether or not they left the city or if they're up to something else and they're hiding in a hidey hole, hard to know.
Yep.
But what was that called? Oh,
I'm choice number 2. I'm almost certain.
choice number 2. But yeah, that's what you get. When you try to contact your pack, neither your mother nor your father answers the phone. It's actually someone else in the pack, and they say, "I'm really sorry that's happening. We can't help you right now."
I understand.
Wait. How did they say it, Nikki? Is that we're very sorry that happened. We can't help you right now, or we're very sorry that happened. We can't help you right now.
That must be really hard.
Probably more emphasis on the you, I'm assuming.
A little bit.
Oh boy.
A little bit. You get the sense there's not burned bridges, but there are some sore bridges that need some time to let settle. In the way that only family needs time to settle, so really actually letting time pass won't help at all. But they're not ready yet. So
That's fine.
That might
I
be
was expecting it.
some fences and mending and things like that.
I mean, Whitney could stay at my place, but I've got like one mattress on the floor and no chairs. So,
so Percy, is there anything you are up to in all of this shenanigans?
So there's been a lot of good ideas going around here.
Yes, Percy can be counted on for the other.
I would like to have spent 2 weeks drafting a contract and reviewing it. And then
Okay.
I would like to start a scene in the summer court to get my favor.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, if you
Oh,
want to do
man.
a scene, yeah, we can do a scene. So what
Oh, fuck.
This is only gonna end in tears.
No, this is fine.
I love it. I love it when all my players just straight up fuck.
Yeah, one player is just like, I'm going to do this thing. And everyone else is just like, no.
Everyone Geralt says fuck. just
Yes. We're
But,
all the
you know,
Geralt meme right now.
yeah.
Cole would probably say first and then fuck. But yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we
Harvey's an acknowledged agent of winter at this point.
That's true. So we should definitely have an acknowledged agent of summer. It'll be great. Anyways, so Percy,
Cole, who actually is Faye, is doing every dang thing he can to be neither. Thank
to
you.
be stuck in the middle, it's perfect.
We're just gonna play tug of war with your
Mhm.
Fae sensibilities.
I will say that I would have gone to Cole,
Fair enough.
not to ask permission, but to basically be like, this is a thing I'm going to do.
Sure.
I promise to not like run off and do things without telling the group. You are the
No,
Fae
that's fine.
here.
Yeah, no, happy to give you a ride. I mean, hell, looks like, fuck, man, how many pages is this thing?
There's a lot of I just wanted to make sure for if certain events happen or what have you, that I would be covered.
You know they're probably going to hand it off to one of their lawyers, too.
I look forward to it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I would.
So sing to me of what you want in this contract and what kind of favor you are attempting to get from Fix / Lady of Summer / the Summer Court.
So there's two main tenets of the contract, but it's one favor
Okay.
and written as such. The first tenet is written as the mutual friendship between Percy Hamilton and the Summer Court.
Okay.
And that includes, as desired, if you know, people intermingling, me becoming more present inside the actual court itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is a permanent residence inside the Feywild, protected by the Summer Court. So it would move with the Summer Court every season when it moves, etc., etc.
You want a domain.
Mm-hmm.
So you want a permanent because the Fae live they live they live both in the Never Never and they live on Earth. So I didn't know if you wanted to have a residence inside of where the Fae occupied
In the Never Never.
in the Never Never.
You want a place
specifically,
in the
sorry.
Never Never that they're watching for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like anything special. I'm asking for a starter home in the Never Never, not like a castle.
Oh yeah, you gotta do quests for furniture, man. That's shit. Everybody knows that. That's
Okay.
EverQuest 101.
Interesting. So I would say the scene would be I gotta pull up the map of Portland. I remember what all these names are because it's been a couple of months. But the islands that you all went to, I think it's Mac Island or something like that. What was it called? The Cousins Island? No. And now, of course, I can't find it. Here it is. Mackworth Island. I thought it was Mac something. It actually has fairy houses on it. That is where you went and you met with the Lady of Summer when they were coming through to potentially assault Portland. And the Lady of Summer is there, though This is their withdrawn residence because it is now fall.
Correct.
It is actually after the equinox, so now it is the time of winter in Portland, and not the time of summer. So the Deering Park forest, or the park in downtown, which is called,
I think Deering is right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Deering. I think it's Deering Park.
Mhm.
Or was
Yes.
it Lincoln? I remember something about a penny.
Lincoln was the where someone was where someone
Yeah.
was kidnapped,
kidnapped, but it's not the
Okay.
main. But it's not the main hangout for.
from. The one where you all saw Mab was the Deering Park, which that's I think the winter
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, Deering Park.
I didn't.
It's the Deering Park in Parkside is now being occupied by winter. It
Okay.
was a massacre of summer when you guys were investigating all of that stuff because of various stuff. So yeah, you're on Mackworth Island. You're in the Never Never version of Mackworth because they can't just. Mackworth Island actually has a college on it and things, so they can't just. They don't just like sit around in a college and be like, "Hey, we're the Fae." Like, so you cross over in Mackworth Island, and Lily is there with Fix, and they're reviewing your contract, and they're like, "Huh, really?" And they kind of appraise you. Lily is kind of got a smirk on their face, and Fix is like really? You want to do this?
I'm assuming at least Lily would be like very good at empathy.
Super
So
good.
she would be able to read Percy without him needing to say what this is. Manny has mentioned a lot in the contract and what his responsibilities are and what he like how protected he needs to be. He is corporeal in the Never Never.
Yes,
Mm.
you can touch him.
That's the motivation.
Yeah, and
And like
sure.
she can tell that
yeah,
right away.
100%. She's hip to what you're doing.
Mhm.
Fix is just like, okay, but like, because he also can't see Manny.
Mm.
Lily
Okay.
can.
Okay.
And you're in the Never Never now, so Manny's there.
Mhm.
And so Fix is still kind of like just blown away by the fact that you are volunteering to basically be one of Summer's lackeys, just because he has a very sordid past with Summer and how he got involved with Summer, and so he's not. He's the Summer Knight, but he's not really on like he's getting better at being the Summer Knight, but he's still kind of in that quasi. I'm playing for the team, but I'm really here for Lily, not for anybody else.
Then my take on it is not the first mortal that's made a deal with the Fae. At least he's smart enough to ride it up.
And so Lily smiles and puts her hand on like Fix's shoulders to like be like, it's okay. And she looks at you, she looks at Manny. And what? So you are cashing in your favor for us to consider this contract?
The favor is your signature on the contract.
I see. I wish you to know that I am happy to sign this contract, but doing so will mean you will be beholden to Summer. And I do not mean to be indelicate, but at least one member of your cohort is not beholden to Summer. And another of your party does not wish to make a choice. So there might be, and I wish to warn you foresight now, because, and she like looks at Fix, and Fix kind of like gives her a smirk. It's like, neither one of us had a choice. We want to make sure you understand that your choice might have consequences you cannot foresee.
I've met both yourself and the esteemed leader of the other court. I've made my choice.
Very well. She flicks her wrist and like a pen appears, and it's like this ostentatious, massive quill of a bird that probably doesn't exist anymore. And she dips it into ink. Like she goes to dip and an ink pot appears like there. And she dips into the ink pot and signs on the contract. This is, welcome, Esquire of Summer.
Thank you, my queen.
Lady.
Lady.
I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. He would know. I think he would know the correct term.
He would know. Yeah,
doesn't.
It's lady. The queen is Titiana, and you don't
Right.
want to meet her.
We went out. We talked about that. It was thank you, my lady.
I look forward to working with you. And she smiles, and then she bows to Manny and says, "And we will be happy to have a home built for you and your husband."
Thank you. And just for a point of, this might come up later, depending on how things go. If Manny ceases to exist in the contract and allegiance is null and void.
So if he ceases to exist under their watch or just in general?
In general.
Okay.
It is the trade of the contract is essentially you keep my husband safe and I work for you.
Yeah.
If there's no husband, I have no reason to work for you.
Yeah.
But there's a term of service, though. I mean, until.
Yeah, I would say, why don't you roll, and we'll see what the addendum is added to this.
Okay.
Either a presence
Mhm.
or rapport.
Okay.
That's basically.
Or is it deception because he's putting one over on them?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's
I don't
being
think so
very
either.
forthright with them. I mean, if you want to try intimidation, I guess, but I don't think that's not really what you're going for. So
Legitimately, the tack that I took is I'm going to be as honest as possible.
yeah, so
But
I would say
like-
rapport. I would definitely say rapport.
Yeah.
It's just essentially like that term of service. Like, yes, your contract will end after, or as long as you have done this many things, and that length of time is going to be determined on how well your rapport roll is.
It's a wash, so it's a 3. So I'll take whatever that is, to be honest.
Okay, 3. I would say that essentially.
Is there any way I can assist?
No.
Also, I'm willing to let it ride. Like, I
Yeah,
appreciate it, but I'm willing to let that one ride.
I like the idea that it is 3 favors.
Okay.
So if you have fulfilled 3 of their favors and your husband ceases to exist, your contract is immediately null and void. If your husband ceases to exist and you have yet to fulfill 3 favors, you have to continue to serve the summer court until your 3 favors have been repaid. So essentially, you can fulfill the 3 favors like bang, 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 and then you are still a member of the court for ad nauseum until your husband stops being your husband.
Makes sense.
So there is like you could get it out of the way, and then you're an esquire as long as possible, or something could happen to Manny, and you just have to do 3 favors, and then you are let go.
And let me ask just one question about like Fae and how they work, just before I kind of wrap the scene there.
Yep.
Would I have right of rejection on Fae? Like, if they come to me and
Yes.
say, "Look, you need to go shoot Harmony in the head," could I just be like, "I'm not gonna do that"?
Yes, you have
Okay.
the right to refuse favors.
Okay.
Though, as the rest of the group will say, the Fae are really good at putting you in a spot where you pretty much have to say yes to the
Yes.
favor they're going
Right.
to ask. Though it's probably not going to be as overt as go shoot Harmony in the head. But it might end with Harmony being in a lot of trouble. That you
Got
set a series of events in motion that makes Harmony's life miserable for a I
Percy would never do anything that set a series of events in motion that makes Harmony's life more difficult.
I believe that could result in losing one of the wizard's trusts again.
I mean,
I don't see that on my
telling
aspects. I don't know
yourself
what
that.
you're talking about.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when my players are like, here, have this.
Have tools.
You gave me what, 2 months? A month to
I know.
think?
I know.
Keep
I know.
telling yourself that.
Coming in swinging.
Indeed. All right. So, is there anyone else has questions for Whitney? Because, like I said, she's up like a couple hours a day that you can kind of grill her a little bit. Not like you can't like interrogate her very hard,
Well,
because she'll just pass out.
I want to ask her what she knows about Niccolo, but that can wait until she wakes up if needed.
Okay.
And I have a question.
Sure.
So shepherds. What can you tell me about these guys? I mean, you've been around here for a while.
Oh, the shepherd fae.
Yeah, them.
Interesting fae. Very nice. Sealed up for their own good and the good of everyone else.
Sealed up, eh?
Yep. Yeah, they voluntarily went into exile. There was some concern amongst the supernatural community that they stick around too long, everybody else would be extinct. And instead of fighting a war, they went into exile.
Okay, I think that's my question for the day, but I have more.
Sure. Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Damn
it.
No one else has any other scenes. I will
Can
say.
I ask my question about Niccolo right now?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would just one of her awake moments sit down and say, do you know someone who goes by the name Niccolo?
She thinks for a minute.
And I'll give a description if needed.
And it's after you give the description and not with the name. And she says, oh, Niccolo? Really? That's what he chose? I swear, that guy. Or, it's technically a guy.
What? Can you share what he or it is?
No, I can't. He made me promise.
Can you tell me anything about him? Because I find myself in a situation where I am doing work for him, and I want to know what he's going to use it for. Or what kind of danger I'm in.
You know what?
Fun kind.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say you're in a lot of trouble. Honestly, Niccolo, stupid name. There are worse people to be working with. I can say, and she kind of gets this like a little bit of a shit-eating grin on her face because she's like it's like when you realize where you can get around the gas. He was also one of the founders of Portland.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Has
he
gone by... you didn't recognize the name Niccolo. Has he gone by any other names you can tell me?
I can't. I can only tell you his most recent name, as long as someone else tells me what it is. He's, and she like tries to say something, and it
doesn't come out.
her mouth locks up.
Yeah.
And she gives you one of those like.
Okay. Well,
Familiar with that crap.
Worth a shot, and it's comforting to know that I'm maybe in less danger than expected. So that's.
Oh, you're definitely in danger,
Well,
but
no, I know.
there are worse people to have to work with.
Right. I wasn't sure how far down the scale of dangers we are. It sounds like we're not quite as far down as I may have expected.
She kind of gets this weird twinkle in her eyes. She says, sure.
I mean,
but yeah. Yeah, she really can't say anything else. You could always have a scene with Niccolo eventually.
Oh, I will. I'm sure.
So, everybody else okay? Anybody else have any other questions?
Well, dang, Harmony. I guess it's good to know you're only working for Darth Vader and not straight up Palpatine.
I mean,
That's
you
fine.
take them where you can get them. It's,
I mean,
wizarding is a dangerous profession.
I would ask her
you guys are getting paid?
what she knows about Atlantis and or the Triskelion.
She tells you she doesn't know a lot. The druids and her never really talked. And the only reason she knows that it's probably druidic related is because she knows the shepherds went to Atlantis, and that's it. Like, so you guys know more about Atlantis than she does.
Okay.
That she was not privy to those details. She was around when it happened. She remembers the shepherd court, but she was not responsible or part of that whole decision. She was still a very young phoenix when it all went down. But
Only
she's
a
been
few
around.
100 years old. It's fine.
Only a few thousand years old, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And she also, and you kind of get the sense, being a wizard, I don't know if any of you have seen A Man from Earth, which is a really decent sci-fi movie about what happens if a human being just stops aging, and starts in the Neo-Paleolithic, essentially. So like Australopithecus, kind of Neanderthal person that just keeps living forever. His memory is not perfect, and neither is hers. So essentially, the further back in time you go, the worse her memory gets. And so she can remember the broad strokes of things, but if you ask her for like names and details and specifics, she didn't have recall like that. And it's built into her species, as she explains, so that it helps them move on, because a perfect immortal memory is terrible. And so they try not to have those. And she's one of those creatures that doesn't have one. So she can tell you the broad strokes, but you very quickly figure out you know more about Atlantis than she does. And you know more about the druids than she does. In fact, she doesn't even know any of the druids that are currently operating in Portland.
Got it.
it's a trade-off. I don't explode.
Yeah. So as those 2 weeks the chaos is still very much boiling, and Kasara has become more withdrawn as of late. She makes sure all of you are okay. She makes sure Whitney is okay, and has a few conversations with Whitney about a few things, just to make sure that she's all there, using her skills as a psychiatrist to just make sure there's no lasting mental damage or anything like that. And we pick up in real time 2 weeks later, and you get essentially a knock, a metaphysical knock at your door. Andy.
Oh, I was going to say.
He goes to see who it is.
So do you open the door? Or you like have a peephole, or
Probably it has a peephole, so he'll look outside, see who's on the doorstep.
you see a man that's about 6'5", wearing a ridiculously long black leather duster, leaning on a oaken staff that has sigils carved all up and down its staff, with a pentagram necklace dangling out in the open, as he's kind of looking around and giving one a like.
All right.
What's his hat look like?
Doesn't have one.
Have I seen him before? Like, I know
Yes.
who he is.
You've seen Warden Dresden before.
Okay, I didn't know if I had.
It also
laid eyes
looks
on him
like
before.
he hasn't shaved in several days.
Okay,
His beard is kind of coming in a little scraggly.
sure. I unlock the door, and open it.
Disarm the wards.
Yes. Also, Warden Dresden.
Warden Wells, I see you've upgraded. That's a hell of a job here.
Wait, Warden Wells.
Oh, I suppose I shouldn't have led with that. Yeah, I should probably come in.
Sure. Yeah, you. Yep. He'll open the way, please, by all means.
Andy, remember when I said you were going to regret that email?
Yeah. It wasn't an email. It was a letter.
He tromps up the steps, and he kind of like, yeah, nice. Looks in, is like, wow. So this is what they mean when a wizard that doesn't poke their nose into shit gets a nice place to live. Must be nice.
I, truth be told, wish that were still the case.
Yeah, and he kind of like claps you on the back as he moves into your house.
It just shuts the door after the storm that is Harry Dresden walks into his.
And as you turn, you see him reach into his duster and pull out a canvas wrapped package with twine tied around it, and he sets it on your coffee table.
Is that what I think it is?
If you think it's one of the gray cloaks of the wardens, then yes.
Why?
Well, officially, I'm here to tell you that the council cannot get involved in the clusterfuck of politics that is Portland currently. Unofficially, the war's going bad. And you're the most senior wizard in the area. And it's a miracle that Lucucio or Morgan hasn't shown up yet.
I didn't know the war had been going that poorly. I haven't had a lot of... It hasn't reached here.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason you haven't been drafted yet.
How's Chicago?
He gets this weird look in his eyes. It's defended.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. No matter what, right? No matter what. Anyways, enough about my demons.
Hope not. Actually, never mind.
Yeah, we've got those too, but they.
Great. We have a mutant white cord vampire, maybe.
That's new.
Yes, very new, unsettling.
So you'll fit right in on. I don't know what the fuck's going on clock here at the Warden Central. So.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds like it. Yeah. Great. I've been a part of the White Council for a while, but don't really know what all the official things that go along with being a warden are.
Yep. And he pulls out like a notebook and he sets it on the table on top of the cloak. Yeah, it sucks.
Great.
Luckily, you get paid. I didn't know that when I got my cloak. So I figured I should leave with that because no one told me.
Oh, well, that will be nice.
Yeah. Because of how bad things are here, you probably won't be called into the field anytime soon. I am here to unfortunately let you know that you're here as our representative now as the White Council to fix whatever it is that's going wrong here. The Svart elves will not talk to anybody. They are pretty pissed. And let me tell you, I have seen pissed Svart elves before, and it's not cool.
Well,
somehow Molly is able to get them to talk to her, but I don't know why. But anyways.
Well, in fairness to them, a phoenix did blow up their building.
Yeah, phoenixes. Really didn't know those existed. That's weird.
We didn't either, but they do. Surprise. Yeah. She's very nice for whatever that's worth. I don't think she wanted to blow the building up.
I've had that exact same thought many times.
If I don't know if this is in my jurisdiction to even say. I don't know what I'm allowed to do or not do, but I mean, with Portland not being touched by the war, if anyone needs to lay low here, I'll be happy to help them if I can.
I think that's a generous offer, and it's if I could guarantee the safety of them in Portland, I would definitely send people here. But why don't we give it a few moments to see what shakes out of this dust?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I can give you some hints. Don't start any more wars, because I got that covered. Don't make any promises you can't keep.
Uh-huh.
Make sure people are following the laws of magic. And if you get over your head, run the hell away. Because that's not what I do, and it hurts.
Yeah, it's been really something. We managed to avert one war.
Well, you've already done better job as a warden than I have. So, I mean, there you go.
I mean, someone may stir the pot again. So, we'll stir the pot again.
That never stops.
Great. You know, I came here to get away from all of this stuff.
Good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I got a good 30 years out of it, so.
30 years of peace and quiet. God, I wonder what that's like.
Well, it wasn't quiet exactly, but, you know, buildings weren't exploding.
He gets another, like, weirdly far off look at his eye. Anyways. Yeah, I got a couple cases that I have to get back to, unfortunately.
Right.
But if you absolutely need help, there's some phone numbers in there. One of them gets to Edinburgh. One of them will contact me in Chicago. Another will contact a warden named by Ramirez in LA. He's a good kid. He's too cocky for his own good, but he's a good sword in a fight. I don't know how much you know. Normally that package would come with a sword, but unfortunately our commander is she can't make swords anymore right now. So we'll just have to do with your magic, which I have been informed is formidable.
Do all right. Have a real spitfire of an apprentice, you could say, who helps with that too. So
Spitfire apprentices. I know those way too well. Yeah.
Yeah. And other friends I can lean on when I need the help. So
Good. Having friends is important in this gig.
yes.
Well, Warden Wells,
Warden Dresden.
I wish you well. Send me any reports you can. I'm technically your commander.
I will.
If I had to guess, you're going to be busy not being on fire just like I am. So when you can.
Yeah. I do have a phoenix here somewhere. So
yeah,
we'll
you
see.
literally have a fire creature in your back door. So, like usually that's me. Usually I'm the firebug. So
Yeah. It's great. I'm sure I don't need to tell you.
no.
Good luck out there.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to maybe some relaxing nights in. Doubt it'll happen much, but who knows?
If any red courts show up here, I'll be sure to send the word out. Not that I expect you'll all be busy, but
That would be good to know, actually. They've been quiet as of late, which makes me worried.
yeah, that's not good.
No, it isn't. Anyways, I'll get out of your hair.
All right.
Good luck. And don't do anything I would. He kind of like stands up and like offers his hand to you as of like, welcome to the fold. Also, I'm sorry that I have to do this to you.
I mean, he'll stand and give him a good handshake.
Take it easy. And he just kind of turns and walks and then like waits for you to like disarm the wards kind of, and he walks out. And the duster is flapping in the wind as he walks down the streets of downtown Portland towards probably whatever way he took to get here.
After he's left and I've like reestablished the wards and locked the door, just find the biggest, comfiest chair to just sink into. And probably stay that way until somebody shows up.
Yep.
Let's be real, it's probably Harmony.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, so probably like almost comically, like as you like, you hear the click, and like Harmony comes walking in the door.
Yeah, I just got coming out and I was like, oh, did you have a guest?
Uh-huh. Sure did.
Who was it? It wasn't that guy who came and visited you before, the one that was your mentor, right? I didn't think it was the same guy.
Gatekeeper, no. It was Warden Dresden.
Really? I thought Warden Dresden was too busy to check in on us here.
Well, I kind of explained what was happening, and he made time, though his visit was pretty brief, and he brought a bombshell with him, so that
please tell me not a real bombshell.
No, and I'll just
Heard
point
the
to
rumors
the...
that come out of Chicago.
Yeah, no, luckily it wasn't the kind he usually just has around with him, but and Andy will point to the parcel that he has not touched on like the coffee table or wherever it got put.
Aren't you gonna open it? Or do you already know what's inside?
I know what it is. And I don't want to open it, but it doesn't really matter.
Like in the dry cleaning bag.
It's mine now, no matter what, whether I want the responsibility or not. I'm a warden of the White Council.
They made you a warden. No, I mean, don't take that the wrong way. Don't take that the wrong way, Andy. That came out wrong. You would make an excellent warden, but I didn't think you wanted to be one.
I don't at all. But the war is apparently not going well. They don't have anyone else to send, and I am the most senior wizard in the area. They can't get involved officially, really, with anything going on up here, but need someone to keep an eye on it, and you and I are both here.
So they're just gonna give you a cloak and ask you to do exactly what you're already doing?
They're gonna pay me.
Okay, well that's something at least. I mean, if they're just gonna pay you to do what you're already doing, that's kind of a bonus.
It does come with some added authority. I am like a ranked member of the White Council in a way I wasn't before, so my voice will come with some authority as far as like the Unseelie Accords are concerned, which could be nice.
Go away to fight?
I don't think so, particularly not with the way the situation here is now. They don't want things to get worse, and as far as they know, you and I are kind of it for their eyes and ears here.
Okay.
So, unless things get much worse, then no, I don't think I'll be called on to leave or go fight the Red Court.
So then it's not really a huge change. You're just going to keep doing what you were already doing and trying to protect all of us, but you'll get paid a little bit more.
Right. I will also, I'm sure, not have any complications come up with the fact that I have this cloak now and what it means, and that there's official things going to be happening that I'll probably have to
walk around wearing it everywhere. You'd look silly.
I mean, you're right. It will. I mean, it's... What year is it? No one wears cloaks to things, like, just casually.
Unless you're going to, like, a LARP or something.
I don't know what that is, but...
Remind me sometime, I'll tell you. Not
okay.
Right now.
I will have to actually wear it for, like, official meetings and things.
Yeah,
or, like, if I...
happen that often.
I mean, like, if I were to meet with the patriarch of the White Court here again, I would. That's the thing I would wear it to.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
that's partially a move, I guess, but still.
That's not that big of a deal, Andy.
I came here to get away from being involved with the White Council as much as possible, and now I'm further dragged into it.
Well, maybe if we do a good job putting everything here back in order, then they'll just start leaving you alone again.
Maybe. I have a feeling that's not going to happen, but maybe.
At least we can try.
Yeah. He'll get up and he'll open the package finally, like set the notebook aside and then open the thing.
What? While he's doing this, Harvey just gets a smirk on her face and goes, "Would this be a bad time to tell you I have another date with Niccolo?"
You have a
I'm
what?
kidding. I'm kidding.
Smash cut too.
Just pulling your leg.
Yeah, thanks. Need some brevity amidst all the panicking. Do you know how the rest of our friends are doing?
As far as I know, everyone's okay. I haven't seen people in a couple of days. I've kind of been holed up in my office working on things. But I haven't heard anything bad.
Well, that's
So that's
good.
something
No news is good news, I guess, in this.
right now.
Well, we need to figure out what to do to keep the city from being metaphorically on fire, now that it doesn't seem to be in danger of being literally on fire for now.
Well, can we talk to the Svartalfs?
I don't think they're going to want to.
Because the only person who voided their contract was Annabelle.
Well, they don't have a contract with the city, with the community anymore. So we could try. I don't know. I don't know who I would get in touch
wonder
with.
if there's something we could do to get them to... I know you don't like them, and I don't have any particular love for them, but they did keep the peace.
That they were better than nothing.
And I don't think we have anyone else here who can do the same job. I don't think you want to do that job.
Oh, God, no. That is apparently part of the gig, however, is to make sure everyone's following the laws of magic. So, don't go breaking the laws, because I don't have a sword to do anything about it.
Well, the good news
If
for
you do.
you is the tablet I'm studying isn't actually necromancy, so we're all good there.
Not sure if I feel bet. What is it then?
As far as I can tell, it's some kind of spirit magic. And it's nothing I've heard of before. I can't find any record of it, of anything similar to this. It seems to be unique.
Do you know what it does?
Well, it's got something to do with control over life and death, but it's not necromancy. That's the weird thing. You'd think it would be, but
Okay.
it's not.
Great.
It doesn't feel wrong in the same way that necromancy does. Like,
Okay. I
don't
mean,
know.
that's better, I guess. I just wish I knew what Nikolai wanted with it.
I don't know, but I'm working on that, and I'm only half joking about a second date with Niccolo because eventually I'm gonna have to talk to him again. And
Well, at least none of our other friends have done anything like talk to people who have powers we pale in comparison to.
yeah, I mean, who would they talk? There's no way. Everybody looks at Percy.
Yeah, Percy looks at the camera.
Like a chill running down your back that someone's talking about you.
I feel like now would be a great time for Percy to knock on the
Oh, yeah.
door.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. He's like, yeah, at least some of our friends made life-altering deals that have
Yeah.
no
Please
back.
do.
Yeah.
Like Cole and
Boom, 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 boom.
Like Cole and Percy show up like right after their
Andy,
meeting.
I made a life-altering decision.
Harmony and Andy just freeze.
Please tell me you just got insurance.
He comes in. Okay, so this is very important. Percy
Uh-huh.
throughout season 1 looked like someone who had a long week at work and is at the bar on a Saturday. Like leather jacket, kind of frumpy, but still like professional-ish looking. Percy right now is wearing sandals, jeans, and a Hawaiian t-shirt. And going forward, Percy will be wearing sandals, jeans, and a Hawaiian t-shirt.
Going somewhere, Percy?
That was your life-altering decision entering a drawing for a getaway cruise? Because now is either the worst time or the best time.
Of a sort. You know the training we've been doing?
Yeah.
Well, I really liked the destination, so I bought a house there.
You what?
I bought a house in the Never Never.
That's not how it works. And
No,
Harmony looks at Andy.
No.
Cole does not knock. He just comes in.
I mean, you all have
Yeah,
the
you all you
charms
you
still.
actually can all just walk into Andy's house.
You have the friendship
Anytime.
bracelets.
that.
Oh yeah, he knocked and like opened the door.
Sure.
It was a courtesy knock.
Right. Coming. So Cole pops in to say it's not my fault.
Yeah, just
What?
Okay.
I've seen worse deals though, so you know.
Deal. You made a deal.
Yeah,
You-
whenever you purchase a home, it's a deal.
Sure. With who?
Really?
With you made a deal with the summer lady.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I had already made a deal with the Summer Lady, and I just filled in the terms of that deal.
Andy just
Honestly,
kind of
I was pretty impressed.
you realize the awkward spot that puts some of us in, right?
It was brought up by Lily, actually. She was very considerate.
Oh.
Andy, if I might,
Uh-huh.
as a kind of local expert's not the right word. Look at this way. Things are pretty well balanced now, and that's good. You've got summer, indicating Percy. You've got
Hawaiian shirt.
You've got winter, indicating Harmony. And you have other. The three genders of the Fae.
No,
I-
there's 4. Shepherd.
Or I guess summer, winter, and mischief.
Oh. I need a
Harmony
drink.
is one of the
It's
best
like
people I've ever met. If
10
it
in the
was
morning.
anyone else, I would be concerned about potential conflict. But I know Harmony to be someone who won't let this impact things.
I'm not worried about you and Harmony getting along, Percy. I'm worried about the fairy courts influencing both of you and, like, you know.
But I'm telling you, it's important. This was actually a really good idea, because if we had only winter influence in our little group and unaligned, then that would be a problem because we have a bias. But now we're balanced. So neither court can say, oh, you guys are on a side. It's good.
And I mean, technically, all I did was buy a house there in protection for my husband. By the way, we're married now.
That ain't all you did, but okay.
Congratulations.
Lily said it.
Yeah.
She's the lady of the summer court. I'm
I-
counting it.
I recalled the mention of some favors. So, there's some riders on the
Did
contract.
you get right of refusal over those favors?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's something
That's-
at least.
Yeah,
I would not have agreed if it would put me in a position where I'd be forced to harm my friends.
Well,
oh, okay, sure, but
well, since
Anyway.
Harmony knows this already, I had a visitor this morning who also, my life has also changed.
Oh, do tell.
did you get married?
No,
Okay, just checking.
I was made into a warden of the White Council. Show them
Oh.
the cloak.
That's the law, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Andy's a cop.
Oh,
now.
you're
Cop.
Yara now.
I'm
No.
Well,
no,
shit.
not really.
What,
I'm
all the communities have to listen to you.
no, not really.
Oh, thank
You
God.
have the ability to detain people.
If they break the laws of magic, I have the authority to judge them.
But that really only applies.
The fact
So-
that you
Magic
use the word
users.
judge instead of detain leads me to believe that there's one kind of judgment.
It depends. It really depends on the warden, actually. And I don't have the tool that a lot of them have that some of them use more frequently than others. To do
What, a
the
big axe?
That's a
most
good
wardens,
point.
a lot of wardens carry a sword, actually.
Because you couldn't
Like,
do that without
ceremonial?
breaking a law, Andy.
You are right. So I guess need to get a gun. I don't know. Hopefully, or
you have friends. You don't have to do that.
Right.
I'm
It,
not
Your
very
judgment could be, I judge you to get shot by Percy.
not very comfortable
see-
using one of you as an executioner's axe.
well, I mean,
I mean, yeah, you got.
I would say before Warden Dresden left, he would have let you know that you, because you're in a similar situation as he is, swordless.
Right.
And he has a special dispensation from the council that he does not have to participate in any war. He doesn't have to execute any warlocks.
Okay.
But that's more of, it's both a personal thing, but it's also because you literally can't kill anyone without breaking a law of magic yourself, kind of situation. So because you
Right.
physically can't kill someone with the sword, if you catch a warlock, it's one of those times when you're supposed to call Dresden or you're supposed to call Edinburgh and let them know that, like, I need a warden with a sword. Like, so
Okay.
most likely
Got it.
Morgan will show up and
Chop
He-
someone's head off.
he will
for,
do it
for like
yeah.
5 minutes. We just need him for.
Yeah.
Can we borrow him?
I mean, because he is the executioner of the White Council, so
Got
like,
it.
that's his.
Meet
That's his
you
job.
at a hangar at
So-
the airport.
So he would have said then instead that,
Okay.
yeah, I would detain if we come across someone who's like a warlock who's breaking the laws of magic or something, then yeah, I will need to find a way to detain them and then make a call, and then a guy will show up and it won't be a problem anymore.
So you're a wizard cop.
Yeah, very literally a wizard cop, like a wizard who is a cop and a cop for wizards.
Hang on. He's the only one in Portland, right? He's
Yes.
a wizard marshal.
Yeah,
Damn it.
thankfully I did not get a cloak, so
Marshall Wells.
No, that's not going to be a thing.
Get you a hat.
And it's about then. Well, not about then, but meanwhile, Nikki, as you have been searching for Annabelle and looking through various contacts and kind of going over local haunts and whatnot, you have ostensibly your ear to the ground, metaphysically speaking, and you are looking for signs of Annabelle. And while you find 0 signs of Annabelle, you do begin to find signs of certain disturbances going on near and around Portland, specifically with a higher than normal. Oh, did we just lose somebody on the Zoom?
No, my
Oh,
Zoom went
never mind.
funny. It's
Okay, never mind.
we're good now.
It's okay. I just noticed in the
Hit a
corner of my eye, all of the windows were like doing this, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Accidentally hit a button. My fault.
There is a higher than normal animal deaths, and many of the bodies are partially or almost completely eaten. And the reason that it's weird is that it's things like bears and deer and moose are being killed and eaten in the wild, and it's very strange. As well as human remains have been found around the Portland area, partially or completely digested.
Well, shit. Well, I think I know where I'm going. Where is it? Where is it? I know we had it written down. What was the? I'm going to say like meat cute, or we made it a butcher shop that had a bunch of. Wow, words are failing me right now.
Ghouls.
Yeah, the ghouls. The ghouls.
Yeah, you were given a card. Where did I put that? I might have forgotten to write that down too. Yes, but you were given a card for a ghoul cleanup.
Right, I'm not talking about them, but there was also a building or place that we had made last season that had like that basically the ghouls hung out, and that's where like you could find them, I guess.
It was like she's right. It was like a butcher shop or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I don't remember what it was. I know it was a pun of some sort. That's all I remember.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
I have that. Yeah, I don't think I wrote that one down. I might have wrote that down on my pieces of paper, and those are upstairs, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. Just.
But yeah, so there's that location, and then there's also the ghouls that helped consume the thing that attacked Harmony and Kasara.
Right. Well, first, to be safe, I will go to Andy's place and tell them the new information, because I'm a team player most of the time.
Team leader.
No, that's not. No.
Future Alpha, you're the leader.
Yeah, I'm saying, man. These are your aspects. Just throwing them at you.
I mean, we were all just complaining in Andy's house, and you actually went and did things.
Did shit. Yeah, I'm saying.
You also did things, Percy.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
She does helpful things.
Oh, that's fair.
But yes, you can 100% show up at Andy's, and you have literally have the key to the door.
I do I actually knock and wait.
Andy will answer the
Yeah,
door.
Come in.
Like
We're
on the
all
way.
here except Kasara.
Just come in.
Okay, I open the door.
I imagine Andy's wearing the cloak by now, probably having been cajoled by everyone else.
We're like
Oh.
trolling you, and telling you how good you look in your cloak.
Let's see what you look like, man. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on.
Warden Wells, I suppose.
Yeah,
Marshall Wells.
It has
That's
a
not a
nice ring
thing.
to it.
it's not a thing.
Warden Wells, I think, sounds better with the alliteration, but that's just me.
They want to make either way. I'm going to go into an official thing and introduce myself as Marshall Wells on accident.
It'll be
So-
great. It'll be fine.
I'm guessing.
You won't have to. They'll be able to tell from the star.
Oh, I'm gonna have a star. Are you gonna
Yeah,
make
what's
me
your-
a star?
What's
As
your
soon as
shoe
I can
size,
pick
by the
one up.
way? I'm gonna
Cole, do
be.
you
We are
know
not-
anyone on the internet.
I am not Timothy Olyphanting this up. I mean, Andy probably doesn't know who that is, but still.
So I'm guessing Warden Dresden showed up.
Yes, he did.
Huh.
To help by promoting me to warden.
Yep, that sounds like helping.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you helped Warden Dresden.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own demons, to use his phrase,
Mm-hmm.
which he meant very literally. Yes, apparently. Yeah. Chicago sounds real great.
Have I mentioned lately how happy I am living in Portland?
Are you? Because we had a building
I
blow
was
up
until
2
like
weeks
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, that was.
I couldn't tell you the number of buildings that have blown up when I was a kid. Most of them had stills in them, but they blow up pretty good. It's not a big deal.
Anyway.
That is a good thought, though, that the last authority figure in Portland blew up. We should probably. I'm
Yeah,
going
I'd-
to do some investigating to make sure that you're okay.
Thank you.
You know,
I
I'm
like
also,
my house.
yeah,
I've had it a while.
I do too.
yeah. Your couch is a lot comfortable. I don't even have.
I like your house too, and the duplex next door.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
Cole, you're
I mean-
welcome to sleep on it any time. Still.
You know, I'm gonna bet that Dresden probably didn't stop at a lot of like coffee shops and crap on the way out of town. He probably went straight back to the airport.
No, I mean, sort of. He left. He's not here anymore.
I would assume
So-
there's
Some,
more business.
you know, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, unless you take out an ad in the paper or something, you don't have to necessarily advertise this position.
Well, I might, depending on what happens.
Well,
I mean-
I'm just saying, keep it in your pocket until you need to, you know?
Like a dramatically appropriate moment to flash my badge.
Kinda. You know, somebody says, "Oh, you can't arrest me." Well, actually,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
Nick, or
the problem
whatever.
is that what I sound like?
I don't know.
The problem with that is going to be the people I'm going to have to arrest are going to be magically competent. So,
Well,
in lieu of having magic handcuffs,
we could probably make those.
I was gonna say,
Handcuffs.
that's.
Huh.
I mean, the cold iron ones wouldn't do anything, but we.
depends on who you need to handle.
Well, sure, that's true. Anyway, Nikki, how are you doing?
We're doing okay. Still can't find Annabelle.
Well, that's
family's
not
good.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Uh,
about that. I thought about moving Whitney out there.
Right. Yeah. They're not willing to help right now,
Oh,
understandably.
Family's doing about as well as mine then. Okay.
So, sorry. Yeah, we had
That's
a
all right.
talk when I was last there and it didn't go very well.
yeah.
Uh-huh. So, a bunch of animals are dying. Like, big animals, like bears, moose, etc.
Dying how?
People, eaten. I was thinking ghouls.
Actually eaten?
Wait, people eating?
Yeah, there's
We-
parts.
We dealt with ghouls out there once before.
Right. That's why I came for the assist.
Other thought, maybe. Could it be goblins?
I highly doubt it.
They'd eat everything, wouldn't they?
I don't know, Nikki. You're the one who has a goblin godparent.
He's actually my uncle, to be fair, but yeah. I feel like the pack would have handled it or talked to Guard at some point. Like, I don't see why it would be goblins. Because, yeah. But I could be wrong. We can go talk to him
I
again.
mean, ghouls is definitely an option. I just wanted to make sure we weren't excluding
Seems weird
anything
to me
else.
too, though. If it's ghouls, they also would have just eaten all of it, wouldn't,
That's what I thought.
and not left a carcass.
And I'm
not like-
assuming this
I don't
was
know.
out in the woods, right, Nikki? It's not like it's...
Yeah, for the most part.
Do you find ghouls in rural areas? I guess you probably do.
Yeah, they're
Some.
hungry enough.
It just seems like a
Yeah.
lot of work for them to hunt
Yeah.
a bear.
Yes.
I'm just thinking with Andy is like, what ghoul's gonna leave half a bear? That's just leftovers.
Right. That's
You take a berry bag, I guess.
What,
I-
what what about like a baby animal type thing? Because that's the type of thing that would leave half a carcass is a young animal.
Is
Well,
there
what-
one of these corpses that we could go... This is going to sound terrible. Is there one of these that we could go see?
Nikki, you've just heard you just heard through the grapevine that this is the thing that's happening. You have not been able to pinpoint
Okay.
location or patterns or anything like that. You just while you were looking for something completely else, so you ran across rumors of like something happening with bodies in the woods and being eaten.
Okay.
It was like very ancillary, so you haven't gone down that path yet because you were focused on trying to find Annabelle.
Yeah.
If it's
I relay that information then.
we could.
if there's people, I can maybe help.
Well, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
if humans were found, could we get into a morgue? Presumably, maybe? I don't know. I just have to wonder if there's something we could see on the bodies that a normal, non-aware person wouldn't notice.
Yeah. I don't know what would go after, attack, kill, eat bears and people.
And not eat them the whole way.
Right.
I have an idea, but I'm hoping it's wrong.
What's your idea?
Yeah. If it's not ghouls, I don't know what else it could be.
Dragon?
No way.
No.
Really?
No,
Like-
what the size
Re-
is.
really?
How do
No
we
way.
know?
Not because they're not real.
We know they're
because
real.
They are just. I don't.
How big is a
No
dragon?
way, huh?
I
They're
don't know.
they're
I've never
mythical
seen one.
creatures. They're
So
as
are
big as
phoenixes.
however they want to be.
That's what I'm saying. If they could, that's the type of thing that I can think of that would play with a bear. And this is playing
But why not eat
Is
the
what it
whole
seems like.
thing?
because it's playing. It's a cat with a mouse.
Or if it's a little dragon, it's full.
Oh dear God!
I don't-
Baby dragons
Babies.
growing
That's
around.
what I was
Portland
trying
is
to
not
say.
What I wanted to hear
No.
when I woke up this morning.
If I had to make a list of things that I didn't want to hear this morning, that wouldn't have even been on the list because
You've already heard at least
why?
two.
Why? Yes,
Yeah.
you were right. I have.
Warden Wells, shall we take care of the dragon?
No, I'm not. The dragon doesn't break any.
Dragon has a right to bears.
We could ask. We could ask Whitney, I guess. Maybe.
I mean, I'm going to be willing to bet some of the campers in the forest are fine there being one less bear out there.
yeah, except
I'm
it's
sure
There's
usually
also
they
one
are.
less camper.
But there's
Yeah.
also right.
Yes.
Who knows how many people have died?
You can. It'll be bring your friends to work day, but you can definitely come down and we can see if we find anything out there.
Is this happening in like the area where you are supposed to be patrolling?
I would assume at least some of it's happening there.
You guys aren't sure yet. You
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Wait.
it's like you've heard the rumor or you've seen the news headline like strange bodies found in forest, but that doesn't help.
That's it.
Lots of forests.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm assuming I could be wrong, but it would make sense. Maybe.
Like you could drive with her like towards her service
Right.
hut, and she could go into the headquarters, figure out what's going on, and then come back out.
I may as well come with you.
That's a
Before
good
we
enough
go,
place
I'd like to
start.
make a call.
Okay.
You
Just
can
to get information. Nothing.
call your new
nothing-
landlord.
No. Call an old friend. I will. I'll be right back in. And he's
Okay.
gonna go away from the wizards to use his cell phone.
Get a nice.
So
Sure.
in season 1, I established a contact who I used to get the tapes of the killing in Lincoln Park.
Yeah, it
They
was
work for the police department.
It was a sergeant that was 3 days away from retirement, kind of thing. Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, he wasn't 3 days away from retirement, but he was.
He was.
He was a
that trouble.
sergeant. He was a sergeant that was very close to retirement.
Very done.
He didn't care about giving you some stupid tapes.
It's 3 days, so yeah, now he's retired. He has a Hawaiian shirt on and calling it home.
Well, they'll match.
but yes.
They'll both have Hawaiian shirts on.
Yeah.
Crap! I can't.
There are no
Don't
two
wrote his
matching
name down.
Hawaiian shirts. That doesn't happen.
But I can't find his
But
name right
match
now.
in
So
general
I'm willing to
style.
say it was. I don't remember now.
It was pretty common, I thought.
yeah. Aha! Sergeant Johnson.
Haha.
I knew I'd find it eventually. So yes, Sergeant Johnson is the desk sergeant that you know at the Portland PD.
I'm gonna ring Sergeant Johnson.
You call into the department and you hear like a normal like, "This is the Portland PD. How may I help you?"
Hello, yes. Can I please speak to Sergeant Johnson?
I don't know. Just a second. Like your music starts playing.
Your crime is important to us.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you hear this like click, 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 click. Yes, this is Sergeant Johnson.
Johnson, it's Percy. How's it going?
It's going all right. What do you need, Percy?
Well, let me first establish what you need. You working Saturday night?
No. One of the perks of being as old as I am is I don't usually have to work the crap shifts.
I got an open tab at that bar you like, and I know they're streaming the fight. I was wanting to make an offer for you.
This sounds like you're making a contacts roll.
Sure does.
So we'll see how he responds after you make your roll.
Woo!
After these
That is
messages.
3 + 3 = 6.
Woof.
Woo!
Boom.
You hear what is detectable to your ear, being a man of the people and
Mhm.
and being you do this all the time.
Mhm.
It sounds like fake fighting back, like, oh well, and you know you've got him. Like it's just a matter of time. That this is a fish that is about to be in your boat. It's just yeah. There's no. It's a foregone conclusion.
I let him fight more than I normally would for his pride.
Fair enough. And he's like, yeah, and he kind of like hems and haws. He's like, but that fight is supposed to be a good one. Okay, well, I'll say yes, depending on
Yeah.
whatever it is you're about to make me do. That's gonna make me be a little upset. So what do you want?
I have a friend who works out in the woods. And I've heard
Right.
this like really disturbing rumor.
Is
and
this
the
about
news
pot?
the
I really
bear.
can't help you with pot if this is about pot.
I am insulted that you think that I would do drugs on a recorded police line.
I mean, you say that, and I've seen it all, man. I've seen it all.
You gotta bring one of those stories Saturday night. But those bodies, those half-eaten bodies in the woods.
Oh,
What do you know about that?
You get the sense like you've completely like you
Yeah,
really thought
I-
you were like going somewhere else, and you just like
Boom,
she's like,
left field.
I
just want to make
oh.
sure she's safe, you know?
yeah, hang on, and you hear like a yeah, I don't know, according to this, some weird wolf pack or something is hunting and killing things is what they suspect, is that, you know, some kind of timber wolf infusion into the area. It's come down out of the mountains, and it looks like they've it's gruesome. It's killed 4 people. Well, they think they're people. There wasn't much left. It's killed
Mhm.
several moose and at least 1 bear.
Yeah, I heard about the bear. I didn't know about the pew. I'm so sorry to hear that. But
Yeah, I think it was and he like you hear some more clacking on the keyboard, and you get the sense that it's like hunt and peck clacking, so it takes a second. Like it's not touch typing. It's like tick, 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 tick. And eventually he's like, oh yeah, it was apparently a group of people out on like a weekend camping trip, and the 2 of them got away, and they were saying something about something in the woods, and it went for them, and they got away. I don't know. They're at Mercy General right now. I think they're on a psych hold, it looks like.
that makes sense. I'm
So I would tell your friend to get the hell out of the woods, apparently, because wolves are eating everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her know if you could, like, if they have like a hunting ground, like that they think that the wolves are in, or like some sort of perimeter like you would have if this was a person doing it. I don't know how it works for animals, but
Well, I mean, according to this, like it's a string of attacks, which is why people are confused, and why I don't. This is a wolf thing is weird because it looks like the string stretches south, and the wolves would have had to come from the north, so that doesn't make. I don't know.
they
Wolves
walk through Portland
Well, yeah, like I
with
mean,
a chuckle.
Yeah, exactly. Like what? I don't know. Those yahoos out in the boonies, they don't really know what they're doing. It's probably just mistakes. It's probably
right.
not. It's probably
I gotta-
not a giant trail of bodies leading from Portland to Boston. I mean, that would just be ridiculous.
I got a buddy out in Wells I'll reach out to as well. But look, man, I'll see you Saturday. You got my cell, right?
Yeah,
And I know if you don't, you can get it.
yeah, I can.
All right, I'll see you, man.
Yeah, take care of yourself and don't.
I'm gonna call her next. Get her out of the woods.
Okay, yeah,
Click.
stay out of the woods. Click. Yeah.
Percy, you making this call from Andy's house because
No, I specifically walked
He
out.
that's right. You went
outside.
outside. That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
He has to go outside.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He'll
It's
blow up
fair.
his phone otherwise.
I am very careful about that with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game
The
because
Wizards will blow up his phone.
Yeah.
They'll get a
Yeah,
fate
fair
point,
enough.
but they'll blow up his phones.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna come back in, be like, all right, so I called the police. Not like the general line, my buddy
okay.
there.
Okay.
911.
Friend?
Help! There's wizards.
He did like a research. I made it sound like I had a buddy that was going camping or worked up there, and I was concerned because I heard rumors. So they don't know that I'm researching it or anything. But they think it's timber wolves. At least that's the
Okay.
cover they're using. And it's a trail leading south from Portland to Boston.
Did
Really?
he
it
say
seems
like it was?
He said it
Like-
can't be what it like. He was looking at something and he made that dismissive "it can't be what it looks like" type sound, and said it can't be a trail going from Portland to Boston, which means it's 100% a trail going from Portland to Boston.
Why would it
As
be
The
going-
pack's not going to do that. They're very secluded and secretive. They like.
I don't
unless it's
think
different
ghouls
pack.
would either.
No, that doesn't sound like ghouls.
What would be killing its way towards Boston?
Adam, I have a question.
What's in Boston?
I
Yep.
have a question. I am from
Lots
Boston.
of stuff's. I say lots of
Yeah.
stuff's in Boston.
You are.
I am from Boston. And I actually did most of my wizard training in Boston. Do I know of anything that could do this that was in Boston when I left? Like, is there another pack of werewolves in Boston?
No, the kind of pack that Nikki belongs to is quite rare.
Okay.
They are an anomaly. They are not a normal kind of thing. You would know that in Boston there are definitely many types of fae, and that there are many types of vampires. The Red Court is not super active in Boston, only because the White Court is, and the Fae are also relatively the winter and summer courts are pretty big there. And you do know that the Eastern Seaboard is home to many old ghoul clans from the old world that came over when the Pilgrims came over.
I just had, as like Andy, a great realization too, which he'll say, if I'm a warden, that means I'm not just the warden of Portland.
Oh shit! Yeah, you.
Are you the whole East Coast?
Probably no.
At least not the whole East
Augusta?
Coast. 'Cause
The
Port-
most, basically the Mid-Atlantic
New England.
and New England.
Yeah, but it's whatever this is killing its way within my jurisdiction still.
Because Dresden technically has the Eastern, you know.
Right.
Yeah, Dresden is the middle. The kid from Dallas that I can't remember his name right now is the warden of the South, and then Ramirez is the West Coast. There's four wardens in
The US.
the U.S.
Yeah. Well, now.
Right.
Technically, there are four. There is a Boston warden, but he doesn't have a name, so now his name is Warden Wells.
Hooray!
Now.
And he lives in Portland for now.
I was betting that there was Florida wizard doing something.
No, it's a Texas wizard that is the South. I can't remember. It's like Hancock.
Wrestling magic gators.
Yeah, he's like a cowboy. I think.
He's a super
Yeah.
cowboy.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
I remember him
But
vaguely.
my jurisdiction would cover from here down to the Mid-Atlantic.
What? That's a
Well,
That's- you kind of undersold that,
I didn't really think about it until just now.
huh?
When
Yeah,
you
that's a
mentioned where
thing.
it's going, Dresden didn't really mention it either, but then I kind of thought about it. And yeah,
So,
Oh, you're gonna have to meet a lot of new people.
is there?
well, luckily there's a war going on, so that'll mean that none of the other wardens can do anything.
Sentence that's very weird.
I
Did
mean,
your
you're
police
stuck, which means
contact-
we're stuck.
Did your police contact say anything about like a body or something we could look at?
Oh, there's 4 dead bodies at the morgue and 2 living bodies who saw what did this down at Mercy Hospital. Sorry,
It's called
probably
people.
should have said that.
There we go. That's a place to start.
Yes. I just had a thought. By the way, this is going to be in character, this forgetting. I don't remember. We looked at a map a few weeks ago of lighthouses. Didn't they string all the way to Boston as well?
String
Went down-
all over.
Yeah,
I was
there's
gonna
All
say, I
up and
think all the way
down
down
the-
the coast.
All up and down the okay. So
Yeah.
But
there-
yes,
Man, there's a lighthouse in St. Augustine,
thinking
Florida,
about it.
man.
Okay. Well, not
Yeah.
well. I know there's lighthouses there, but I mean
but
like
not the kind we're worried
lighthouses.
about it. Yeah.
Our lighthouses that we are now helping. I get. This is
Are
all
you
a lot.
Or
No.
We might want to talk to them as well, maybe. Just make sure they haven't noticed anything awry.
Talk to who?
The
Yeah.
keepers, if we can.
The druids?
Yeah.
We can reach out to
Jovan.
Shaban, yeah, and see. I don't know what her network might be like across the country, but
Seemed pretty limited last time we spoke, but
yeah, there aren't many druids left. What
maybe she knows who
She
the
said.
druid in Boston is if we need to go down there.
she might be kind of like me and be the druid for the whole upper
Well, we know-
northeast portion of
Oh,
the country.
And I'm sure she'd be real excited to introduce us to all her friends.
Yeah, it's not like
She likes me. I don't know about
you
all.
Actually, she may not be super thrilled to meet Marshall Wells.
Oh no, you're Warden Wells. Come on. Have some
Now,
respect
come
for
on,
yourself.
partner.
Whatever.
That's not. You keep your chin up. People like you.
Sure, I meant, what my responsibility now means, given how the White Council and the Druids got along or didn't.
Well, see,
Like
but you
chapter.
can forge a new chapter in the relationship. You already have a. I mean,
Yeah, it just complicates things is all. She's not, so far as I know, breaking any laws of magic, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but it might be. I don't know how she will feel about it.
I'll talk to her about it for you, so you don't have to be there in case the answer is I'll kill him.
She didn't really strike me as that
No.
upset about
that
it,
seems
but
a bit extreme for Shaban.
Yeah. She seemed pretty
it is worth
relaxed.
reaching out to her.
Just offering. That's all.
It is absolutely worth reaching out to her about to see how far the network goes as far as the lighthouses are concerned, if there's any reason we should reach out to further south. She might even have some idea about what's happening with
Yeah.
this.
But that could
Animal
be after
thing.
the hospital.
We
it was
make
a
sure
thought.
she's settling in well into her new home that we totally don't need to know where it is.
Yeah, but yes, maybe she's neighbors with you now, Percy.
Yeah, I'll invite her over. Actually, I will invite her over.
Great.
I'm also going to be inviting all of you over.
Okay.
He makes a very pointed look at Harmony. Like you can, if you don't want to come, it's cool type deal. But I'm inviting everyone.
We can talk about that later.
So if you're going to the hospital, Harmony, I
Right.
can't come.
Right.
Yeah, probably better suited to the morgue trip, personally.
Yeah.
I would rather not go to the morgue, so I'll go. I mean, the
Understood.
hospital is going to be a problem as well, but I guess I'll bite that bullet unless there's something else. I'd rather go to neither, to be honest.
Well, we gotta talk to some of the people
Well-
who've seen things.
And
If
they're
you
in the
want,
psych ward. Like, where's Cass when we need her? This would be perfect. But
Yeah, just
Think
as a he said she's they're at Mercy Hospital, and you, because you've been in Portland long enough to know, you would know, and Harmony and Andy would know. Mercy is the psychiatry hospital, so it's not
Okay.
it's not actually a hospital that has a bunch of like ICUs and stuff like that. So technically, this is a hospital that
That we
that
could
Andy
go to.
and Harmony could go to. You would still play Mary, Mary, Mary had a little lamb with their lights and security systems, but like
yeah, that would be what I would worry about.
Yeah, the
you
security
don't want to.
systems-
You don't want to blow out a psych ward security system.
We probably
but you
don't want to
wouldn't
open
you
any
wouldn't
doors.
you wouldn't
Kill
put anyone
anyone.
in life or death situations because
Are
you,
you sure?
you wouldn't short
Well.
out the iron lungs on people.
So
Right.
what we can
Dialysis machine just
do-
dies.
I could go talk to Shaman. We could have a morgue team and a hospital team. Does that sound like? And then we can
If
meet back
you're
up.
comfortable going by yourself, Percy.
She's not a threat. She's a friend. To last we met her, she was a friend.
Last time we met her, we burned her gazebo down
No,
almost.
we
It
didn't.
wasn't
We
our
saved her
fault.
life from the people who were coming to burn her gazebo down.
She made. I hope she has your version of events in mind.
I mean,
We'll see. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. This is the honestly, out of the three, I feel like this is the least risk for me because a morgue and a psych ward are going to have ghosts that I don't want to come in contact with.
That's a fair point.
I didn't think about that.
That's why I don't want to
That's
go to either of
actually a
those.
very fair point. Okay, so me and Andy, morgue team,
Sure.
Cole, Selena, hospital team.
I mean, as I say, I'm happy to. If you guys wanted to, if they're not where we can get to them, I think they're on a hold. But I bet I could get in,
Yeah.
especially with a little bit of
Right.
help.
Yeah, I would know I would at least know vicinity where they may have been camping too, so I can at least get more of a location of where they were.
Okay, so let's.
And
do that.
you guys can 100%. I know that Natalie is no longer a player, but you can 100% call Kasara because she is your friend and she can help you get in.
Okay.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what happened to Kasara. So
She's still
Yeah.
in Portland.
okay.
All right,
Alright.
then let's do that and meet back here later today.
Sure.
We all got keys, so if you don't mind,
Yes,
Andy,
you
we
do.
could all just wait here for everyone else.
I've
I
got
do
keys.
not mind.
Okay.
We've got keys to the door. If Andy locks the house, I can get in.
And with that, I think we will take a very short break, let everyone refresh their drinks, stretch, go to the bathroom, and we will return with Party Separation, my favorite game of the night.
Such a good idea.
Thank you for watching us Roll for Change. Just as a reminder before we go to break, we are raising money for the ACLU. Our goal this quarter is $500. If you could donate any amount of money, we would appreciate it. There is a donate button below our faces, and it will go to a good cause. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we will be back shortly and see what these yahoos get up to.
Yeah.
And we are back. And nothing's on fire yet. That's good. Thank you for sticking around with us. And I see during the break someone donated. Our little bar has changed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Whatever that was. We were on break, so the little notification thing didn't go. But yay. Thank you. It's going for a good cause, I promise. So, before break, y'all had a plan. And like all good adventurers / parties / what have you, you've decided to split the party. Best decision ever. Always. Never goes wrong. Never not a good time. Yeah, indeed. You had a plan. So we will start with Percy. You make your way to essentially the address that Siobhan has provided you, and she has provided you all with an address since the 2 weeks and the demise of her old place. It's a simpler looking home. It is still near-ish to the lighthouse. Or the observation house that's in downtown Portland, but it isn't as big. It isn't as nice as her old home. She smiles as you kind of like knock on the door, and she opens and says, "Please come right in. What can I do for you, Percy?"
Thank you. I wanted to talk with you about some things that were happening up and down the coast, and just make sure, one, that you were aware, and two, that it didn't have anything to do with your purview.
Okay.
There have been some animals that have been being playfully half devoured. We've ruled out most of the magical beings around here who would do such a thing, and I guess even non-magical. Your goblins and ghouls would eat the entire carcass, but there's half carcasses left and parts left.
Well, she kind of pauses for a second, and I suppose, although I've known a time or two where ghouls, they have preferred sections of the creatures they like to eat, and if they're in a hurry, they might not consume all of the creature. They might just cut away the muscly bits and the bits that are nice for them and move on. Goblins tend to be a little bit more picky about what they eat. And they typically tend to feast on their foes rather than just hunt wantonly. It's a sign of respect to eat your enemy, at least to a goblin.
I appreciate the knowledge. As I'm sure you've gleaned in the conversations we've had, I'm newer to the magical communities. And I'm doing my best to help our wizard friends and the more experienced people who travel with me. I wanted to just make sure that this couldn't be anything connected to the lighthouses, because it does seem to be traveling south to Boston.
While the lighthouses do extend that far south, I have not noticed anything overt, though the last 2 weeks have been eventful.
Quite. I have A is a lie. I have many questions, but I have a question for you about dragons.
I can try and answer what little we know.
Could this be caused by that?
Most likely not. The dragons that remain in this world, in this reality, they are capricious, avarice, and not going to be caught dead hunting animals in forests. They are the epitome of greed and wrath and those kinds of things. They are monsters. And they are
Okay.
not subtle monsters.
Not the image I had in my head, but
Yes,
it helps to know.
They no mortal could likely look upon these creatures and survive.
Also good to know.
The ones that are still here, the ones that are in that have been exiled are slightly different. They're the originals, if you will. So they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes and ages, whereas the ones that are here are the ones that resisted the exile, and so they are much older and much stronger. But with age sometimes comes complacency and a carelessness that is purposeful. They don't care about the world, so they don't make their presence known very often.
Understood. For all of this, I also brought you something. And Percy's he has it, he's had it kind of to the side, so she probably already saw it, and it's like a potted flower type deal, but it's specifically flowers that he saw in the would you call it like a glen or a meadow or whatever it was where the home was.
Yeah, it was like a meadow.
Yeah, so like meadow flowers that were there. Not obviously the ones from there, but like
she definitely smiles and takes the plant and from you. It's very kind of you, Percy. I appreciate that.
I may not quite the same, but I'm also a denizen now. So I understand the loss. Not fully, but I would hate to have my home in the Never Never taken from me.
I appreciate your sentiment.
Also, Anderson Wells is awarded now. That kind of happened.
That does not surprise me. The man has a bit of a swirl of destiny around him, as do you all.
Yes. Well, his is a destiny of responsibility, it seems.
That is one way of saying destiny in general. It is just responsibility.
I want you to know that at least I still consider you a friend, and from the conversations I've had with the people I travel with, but they also consider you friends. I don't know what the relationship between your group and his group is, and I'm not a part of either, but
it is mostly one of mutual ignoring, and to some extent arrogant disbelief. The White Council cannot fathom a group of wizards that could get along without them. And so we do not exist to them, and so we do not care about them either, though we wish them well.
Something tells me, and if you ever tell Andy that I said this, I'll probably get in trouble with him. But if he could be a wizard without the White Council, I think he would. And I think that's all I got for that scene there.
she smiles and shrugs, and like the scene kind of like pans out of the house as she looks for a place to put the plant, and we zoom back in on Nikki and Cole and Kasara approaching Mercy Psychiatric Hospital. Kasara dressed in her official like work clothes with her name tag on so that she can get admittance. And what are Cole and how are Cole and Nikki rolling into this psychiatric hospital?
Cole's dressed as a janitor.
Of course he is.
Work clothes.
Nikki is in her park ranger uniform, so she's gonna basically. Her plan is to walk in with Cass, and then also basically while she's talking to the people, I can also glean information and also talk to them about the same stuff, what they saw, etc.
So you walk in, and it's a relatively newer building, brick, but newer facade. It doesn't look like an old brick building. It looks like a newer brick building. So clean white lines and things like that. No ivy crawling up the sides. The checkpoint, the check-in area is very sterile, like most hospitals. Very, non-committal patterned rug that is like in all office buildings across the universe. And there's some chairs that are quasi-comfortable. They're comfortable for like the first 20 minutes you sit in them, and then if you sit in them for 25 minutes, you're like, what the hell? And then like 30 minutes, your ass goes down, and it's the whole thing.
On my back.
And a very youngish man is sitting at the counter and looks up, notices immediately Kasara's name tag. I'm assuming, Cole, that you did not walk in with the two of them, that you kind of stutter and you're going to try and maybe go in a back door somewhere.
Well, I may actually like a step or two behind him, and while they've got his attention, I'm just going to stealth by.
Okay. Why don't you roll your sneaky check?
Right. Sounds good.
And I will roll for Kasara. I'm pretty sure. I know that it's crazy high. Yeah, it's crazy high. We'll use white dice for Kasara today for reasons. Okay. So, all right.
Okay. Get fantasy grounds to work for me. Oh, come on. All right. Well, I guess now is a good time as any to be a Puka cat burglar and take a +2 on that roll, because that -2 is just awful.
Yeah.
So I just turn that into a 0 and take my great result.
Take a 4. Okay, and she, using empathy, she essentially holds his attention in a not quite vampiric manner, but...
Well, in that case, instead of using my own fate point, is she may be creating a distracted advantage that I could tag?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
So you will not have to. You will not have to use your fate point.
That's even better.
And she is keeping his attention very well.
Well,
and so you're able to slip in without much of an issue. Kasara says something to the effect of, yes, we are here to see the patients with the recent maulings. My associate, motioning to Nikki, has a few more questions, and we thought that maybe if a professional was here, we could elicit a more coherent response. And the man says, the mauling. Yeah, they are being held in observation room 2. They're here voluntarily, and so yeah, just a sec. And he pulls out like a clipboard. It's like, I just need you to sign in, and then I can get you some badges. And so she takes a moment to sign like Kasara DeWitt and guest, and you guys are given visitor passes. and an orderly comes to escort you to the non-secure part of the psychiatric ward, which is essentially the observation area where people come to just kind of make sure everybody's okay. There are a couple rooms here. You are led to observation room number 2, says on the door, and there is a young woman sitting in a chair, and she's just kind of like staring like straight ahead, and kind of just like shaking her head slightly. And then there is another young man who is asleep on a bed. So it's like a double room, and the orderly is like, I'll be right outside, and he just kind of like stands outside, and you and Kasara are allowed in.
Okay. I guess I walk up to the young woman and I say, "Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm from the Park Services, and I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's okay with you."
She kind of stares straight ahead for a second, and then she blinks as if like the words took a second to get there. Not in a like, she doesn't seem like she's medicated or anything like that. It just seems like she's kind of like just out of it. Like when you get really sleepy and people start talking to you, and you're like, "Wait, what? People are talking? Oh God, people are talking to me." Yeah, I missed like half that. What happened? Where are we? What day is it? It's only Wednesday. God. And she kind of like, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't really see anything. I was asleep, so I guess whatever I thought I saw, maybe I didn't see. And Nikki,
Can you just?
you are super familiar with this. This is a mortal who has seen some supernatural shenanigans, and their brain is now rapidly trying to figure out how that couldn't possibly be true. And so basically they're just going through denial and trying to justify like, oh no, it was just, I was very sleepy. That's why I thought I saw a weird monster thing that can't possibly exist. Like, like you know what this looks like.
I just tell me what you saw. I don't care how crazy it is. I've seen some crazy stuff out there.
Oh, it was like a wolf, and it just, yeah. I don't know why it attacked us. I guess maybe we forgot to put our food up like you're supposed to, right? That's what you do with wolves, or is that bears? No, maybe that's bears. Yeah, I mean it was dark. I didn't see much.
Is there anything else that you saw? Like, can you give me how big was it? Did it seem like a normal wolf size to you?
Okay. And then because the DM has to play it with themselves because NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That makes sense. Kasara leans in and puts her hand on this woman's like shoulder, and you watch her eyes slightly turn the barest amount of silver as she kind of calms this woman down. And you see this woman like visibly relax as she's slightly enthralled by this white court vampire. And you hear Kasara just whisper, "Just tell us what you saw. It's okay. No one's going to judge you." And she goes, it was like a man, and he walked into camp, and we thought he was lost because he was covered in dirt, and then there was another one and another one, and we got scared, and then all of a sudden his jaw unhinged and he lunged at Lonnie, and I just ran as fast as I could, and I heard the screams, and I just kept running. And she like starts crying, like she just starts sobbing because she left her friend to die. And Kasara's like, it's okay, you did the right thing, just sleep. And the woman just goes like, just boom, out.
That definitely sounds like ghouls.
And Kasara
Damn
nods.
I really don't want to bother him. He seems like he's had enough.
Yeah, I think they've both had enough. I think. Let's check with the orderly and see where they were picked up, so we know
Yes.
where. Meanwhile,
I'm finding a room. I'm finding a room called records.
yeah, Cole, what are you doing?
I'm finding a room labeled records.
Oh, okay. So it's like most hospitals, the record rooms are not easy to access because, laws and stuff.
Sure,
Uh,
laws.
So I'm going to need you to first make, I would say, making a burglary roll to figure out if you can figure out where this record room's going to be.
Sure.
Because they're not always in the same place in every single hospital.
I'm hoping there's going to be like a fire escape or fire route map or something on the wall. But absolutely, a burglary roll sounds reasonable. Oh, dang, -1. This gives me a great result.
Okay, so with a 4, it takes you a sec. It's not hard to find. It just turns out that it's in an inconvenient location. It is convenient for the nurses, and it's convenient for the doctors, but it's inconvenient in the sense that you have to walk through a standing nurse station to get into the record room. So you're going to have to pass through essentially what is an open nurse area where they have all of the medications and basically the computers that they work at and the labs places. And so the only way to get to the medical records is to walk through this very open area where there are nurses congregating.
Yeah, I'm going to stop in a supply closet first and get a mop bucket.
Get a mop bucket. So we can roll a deceit because you are lying your ass off as Janitor Joe here.
Yep. All right. That's good result.
Okay.
Let's see how we did before. Maybe I need to spend some fate points. I've got a couple.
So luckily for you, because it rolled like crap, they give you a weird look because you don't look like the normal janitor, but it just so happens that it's a relatively busy day in the hospital, so they're got better things to do than worrying about the janitor.
Yeah.
One of them kind of gives you like is Carl sick?
Something with his, yeah, I think family thing, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. All right. And they just kind of like dismiss you, like, I got to go help people, so bye.
Yeah. Temp agency didn't tell me. Basically, they got the like squirt bottle of Windex on the belt.
Yeah, they buy whatever lie you're selling, and you just keep going. You get past, and you see that the medical record room also has a keypad that you need to type a code in. It is not just a lock; it is a keypad. So you will need to make another burglary roll.
I guess the safe cracker stunt that I have just means I'm faster at it. So it doesn't necessarily mean I'm any better. But
no, it just means that this you can do this in a few moments rather than taking a minute or two, which would look really suspicious with the janitor like, damn, like you're able to just like.
Yep. This is where the talcum powder to see what buttons get pushed more or all that good stuff. And so burglary for that. Let's see, God, let me get this to work. Yeah, I rolled a +1, so that's a 6, which is a fantastic result.
And that's what you needed. Because getting into this, so you needed a 5 to overcome the lock. A 6 gets you in a few seconds.
Nice.
essentially for a time slide. And so, you just kind of like, you basically run your hand down the keypad and you kind of feel the buttons that are worn and the buttons that aren't. And you just kind of like, I'm guessing it's this. And you just get it the first trick.
Yeah, one it's probably a date or something that people will remember. So,
and the door clicks open and people are not paying enough attention and you slip in and the door closes behind you.
okay, fair enough. Is that my little mop bucket?
What are you looking for?
Well, are they like files or are they computer files?
Both.
Excellent. I'll
As,
probably
as,
check,
as with most hospitals.
right. I'll probably check the computer first to sort by most recent dates.
So unfortunately, you hit the computer button and it says, bloop, log in and password, please.
Oh man.
And you know that you do not have a login and password to this computer.
And I'm betting that that's probably a skill I don't necessarily have. Computers is a skill in Dresden, isn't it?
It is not. There's not a
Okay.
computer skill, but I would say you would need to. It would essentially the time increment to get into this would be extremely long.
Okay. Unless it's a pain in the ass password and somebody has written it down somewhere on the desk.
You could try to make a scene.
Maybe I spend a fate point.
Yeah, if you spend a fate point, there'll be a password kicking around.
It may not be an administrative password or whatever, but I don't need that. I'll spend a fate point that somebody has gotten tired of typing
And has written their password down like they're not supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, they probably put it somewhere, but I'm a good enough cat burglar to,
Okay,
look
so you have a password now.
under drawers and things like that.
I would say you would need to make either an investigation roll or an empathy roll to try and figure out someone's login name.
Well, I've got one either way. Now, I'm going to say, probably an investigation.
Okay.
They're probably you know what? Are there drawers with there are drawers with files in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just open one and kind of grab a file at random and see whose name's on it.
So with most files in the medical records, it's usually the test that was run or it is the patient name and the doctors that have seen them. So
Just need a couple of doctors' names to try this password with.
Yeah. You get Dr. Mahan,
Okay.
a Dr. Osaka, and Nurse. We'll say Nurse Anlan.
Okay. And I'm gonna roll that investigation because I want to see if any of these names like come up frequently. 0. That's not gonna help me any. All right.
So
Well,
with a mediocre result, you can't really see
All right.
if there's anyone more likely to be there than
then I'm gonna try all these names and see if the password goes with any of them. Brute force.
Yeah, so you brute force it. So that means I'm going to roll something.
No.
I am not a hacker.
Well, you got lucky again, sir. Keep rolling negative ones.
Yeah.
So it takes you a few minutes to get the names in and the password to line up, but you do. You figure out that Nurse Anlan is who was that password written down, and she most likely works in medical records.
Perfect.
And it goes into the system, and you have access. You don't have full access, but you have access.
No. All I really want to know is like put them in date order and try and figure out who's come in most recently, and probably if 2 people started files at the same time. And
Sure
try and
enough,
and try and pull those.
Sure enough, when you hit sort by date ascending, 2 people show up in the system. They were admitted 2 days ago voluntarily in observation ward 2, observation room 2.
Are there any like video records or anything on the computer, or
there are no video records,
Okay.
but there is a note. There are notes in the file that
Well-
say came in from. I gotta make sure I tell you the right part of the state.
is there a photocopier in here?
Absolutely, 100%.
Fair enough.
They came in from Waterboro
Okay.
as they were camping just outside of the Waterboro area, which is a little bit west, a lot west of Portland and a little bit south of Portland is where Waterboro is. You would know that just given your local knowledge. And they were found near the city raving about an attack in the woods is what like the file says.
Sure.
There are a few other like observational notes by a psychiatrist, and it was mostly like suffering trauma, PTSD, survivor's guilt kind of stuff, and some prescriptions, and basically watch for time to make sure that the prescriptions are working and that they're recovering.
Cool.
But there's no they have no injuries, they have no physical injuries or anything like that to be noted, so that they whatever happened, it didn't hurt them.
Somebody smarter than me, like Kasara, they'll figure out most of this stuff. But
Yeah, and you're able to essentially hit print, and it prints out all of the material for the file.
and, yeah, all right, cool. I'm
So
stuff
as
that in my shirt.
yeah, so as you hit print and the files start printing out, it screen wipes to Harmony and Andy.
So we're going to the morgue,
We are.
Apparently,
which will be super uplifting.
We gotta figure out how we're gonna get in.
I was gonna say, how do you get there even?
I'm interested. Very curious.
We
Um,
have like bicycles or something, surely. I hope, maybe.
I can
God.
be in a car
Uber.
if it's old enough.
Yeah, we can Uber. Or
How
just
would we
ride.
Uber?
Winter in
How-
or fall in Portland, like the bicycle thing seems a bit cold for that.
God, that would be so funny. Wizards Ubering.
How that wouldn't even happen.
No, Andy and I are just gonna get a tandem bicycle.
I'm sure that we could.
So,
hail a
taxi.
cab.
so I was just gonna say, y'all are old enough. Andy is old enough to know that he has a taxi service number that he can call,
Right.
and they can drop him off.
Hail a taxi, yeah.
Because you can call taxis,
He's
Yeah.
probably a regular.
and he's
I mean,
probably a regular.
probably.
He probably knows some of the taxi drivers in Portland.
Oh, that works.
So it's not hard. It's not hard to get to the morgue, and it's most likely a medical institute. I have not looked up the morgue in Portland yet, just because that's what I want in my Google search history.
Andy, how do we want to get in to the morgue?
Well,
I mean, do we want to?
we could lie.
I was just gonna say, do we want to lie? Like,
We could be following up on reports of animal attacks, since that's what's going around.
posing as like a journalist.
That was my thought, anyway.
Research for a book.
Ooh, research for a book is actually a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. We'd have to probably bribe our way in then,
Well, but
which we could try.
unless we can find someone in here who's a fan. I mean, your books are fairly well read.
Yeah, sign a copy of something.
Yeah, offer to
That's-
sign a copy.
True.
Bring a copy of a book, offer to sign it for the person on the desk. And tell them you're here for research for your newest novel.
Feels so dirty.
That's Andy. This is the most honest way to get into the morgue.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
are
know.
literally an author. This is not remotely far off. Authors do this stuff all the time.
Cole
they,
is so disappointed.
They do this all the time. They
Research.
yeah. I don't
Mixing
know.
work and pleasure.
Sure,
I'll
We'll
pretend to
take
be
a
your
copy of a
publicist
book.
or something.
This is my assistant.
my agent.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it is.
Authors are publicists too, right? I don't know. Anyway, I'll pretend to be something like that.
Okay. Sure, this isn't a terrible idea. All right. Sure, we'll do that. I'll grab one of my books. I'm sure I have copies, just like spares for things.
Yeah, get your most recent one.
Yeah.
So for this, we'll say, why don't you roll? I don't know if I want it to be resources, lifestyle. Yeah, we'll go with resources. Let's roll
good.
resources.
Great.
And see what happens.
Does Andy roll this, I assume? Or do I?
I assume it's
This will
me
be
if it's
this
my
will be
book.
an Andy. Yeah, this is an Andy. How well known is Anderson Wells' Andy Spells' books
Come on.
to this person that you're going to run into in the morgue?
Not well, it turns out.
A negative one.
No.
Oh no.
Ugh. Ugh.
So you make your way downtown to the Portland Police Department. They probably have some. Sorry, not enough tea. They probably have. It's not desk sergeant Johnson, but they have some sergeant that greets you at the door, and they. You ask for research, and you're like, "I'm Andy Spells," and he's like, "Another author. What is it with Maine and authors and wanting to see dead bodies?"
And I would just be like, he even brought one of his most recent books here and he has signed it for you as a gift.
Yeah, it's not. It's above my pay grade. Just hang on. And he wanders off to go get someone else to deal with you.
I look at Andy and I'm
Wait,
like,
we're at
it
the-
could have been worse. I mean, he could have just kicked us out.
You're at not the police department, but you're at not all
Well-
morgues are separate from the police department. So
Well, we're somewhere. We could do a thing. He's not probably feeling very patient after that super embarrassing thing. So he will probably just like sort of, why didn't I think of doing this before? Look over at Harmony, and then I think probably hexes the shit out of things to try to just brute force his way, like through the locked door, I assume. But it would also fire security, I would guess.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to do it. We could break all their cameras.
yeah, I mean,
Gonna cause its own problems. Zach is aware.
Andy is no longer taking this at all.
Breaking and entering makes me so proud.
Very done.
wow, this one.
How dare you not know what my book is? I'm gonna fry your security.
They
This
won't
one-
know that.
This went
So proud.
sideways fast. I like it.
So proud.
Andy and
Yeah.
Harmony are going to end up in jail.
100%. Yeah. I gotta look up how to physically. There's something you do to physically hex things, and I forget how.
I don't remember
Hexing.
either.
Here it is.
mean, the officer left the desk, so
Yep. Nope. You definitely. So it is resolved
jeez.
as an evocation effect. Shit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're gonna do this on purpose, You just tell me how much power are you putting into this?
Oh dear.
Just shut down the city block. Just
That's one way to get this.
I mean, would Andy have any inkling of how much juice it would take to like shut down? He wouldn't be very familiar with electronic security
I
systems,
say,
actually.
when's the last time Andy deliberately hacked something?
Before the campaign started, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you've deliberately hacked anything during this campaign.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something It's not something that he does very often. Probably, he might have done it to like some annoying reporter who was trying to get an interview with him that he didn't want to deal with, and probably like hexed her like digital recorder or something. But
So how much power are you putting into this, Andy?
Do it live, right? Four shifts of power, I guess.
Okay.
All I got. Without starting to take stress. Oh no, what am I doing?
You got yourself into this?
I sure did.
So Harmony.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
I can't be everywhere that we need to do crime. I apologize for that.
You watch as Andy gives you this look like, God damn it. And you watch smoke begin to billow out of every single computer within eyesight. The lights all go out. The emergency lights try to flicker on, and then they go out.
no.
And then you hear this giant as the power in the building goes out.
I just look at Andy like, really?
Well, the
And
door should
then
be
you
open.
hear this strange like as the generator kicks on and the feeble amounts of light come on and they kind of like do this weird sparkly like and like
Might
almost
have.
kind of like strobe light for a sec as you feel Andy cut loose with his power. Like he just like kind of
patient today, Andy.
flexes.
It was like I told you I didn't want to do that way. The door should be open now.
Okay,
I
yeah,
hope.
but now we have to be careful we don't run into anyone.
Yeah, well, I'm allowed one, all right?
Okay, well, I mean, I did burn down a gazebo 2 weeks ago, so I guess I can't complain. And yeah, I guess we're just going in the door. and-
Yeah.
So roll me. What am I?
I mean, I
gonna
don't want to
do?
be, I mean,
Roll.
probably sneakily.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna try to be stealth here. So
Damn, I should have taken stealth for my new skill.
Yeah, I do not
did
have
not.
stealth at all.
you can either roll stealth or
Or-
you can roll burglary
I have
Cool.
do not have
I-
that either.
because you're
But I-
technically infiltrating this place that's on lock, like not on lockdown, but it has no power.
Is
And
there
you get the sense that the reason the generator's kicked on is because there has to be a refrigeration unit.
Right. Is there any way I could beg you into letting me roll alertness instead?
No.
Darn. Cool. Well, I have
Andy,
neither of those.
Andy, are you any good at disguises with magic? Because I am not.
No, not really.
I'm
Yeah,
trash
you
at
go,
it.
I mean, I have a. I do have a veil. Yes.
Yeah,
I was
why
gonna
don't you
say, you
veil
could-
us?
you could try to veil.
I sure can
You
try.
already blew out all of the electronics in the building, so you
Won't
might as
matter.
well.
Sure. Let's try it.
All right, how many shifts of power are you
Oh
summoning?
my god.
This is a disaster of your own making.
Yep.
So this
Andy
is
never
this
gonna
is-
volunteer to do something like this ever again. I can bring.
so this is going to be a block, and depending
Yeah.
on how long you want it to be, is how much power you're going to have to put into it.
So if I bring like 5 shifts of power, how long would that last?
So this is the way it works. So you have however many shifts of power you put into it, you get to choose how much goes into the roll to beat your thing, and then how much goes into time. So if you have 5 total shifts, you can be like, it's a block of 3, and it will last for 2 shifts of time. Or if you brought 7 shifts of power, you could be like 3 shifts and then 4 shifts of time. So it's basically that's how you have to choose to put this block into place.
Okay. How long is a shift of time for this?
For the most part, it's generally thought of to be about a round.
Like a D&D round, like 6 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds, something like that.
Oh, boy.
So with a veil, what you can do, and I will make sure that I do this correctly, because you are making yourself invisible. Let's see, veil, see page 276 for a deeper treatment of how to do this. So blah blah blah. Their evocations. So bigger means higher complexity. Concealing the caster or a small group within the scope of an evocation veil and requires no adjustment. Thaumaturgical veils are
not a thing.
Well, you can't move them.
Oh, right.
Like you could veil a building, but
Right, but you couldn't.
So essentially, actually doesn't say anything about time with veils, so maybe time doesn't go into it. So the only issue with veils is they usually block detection in both directions. So perceiving things outside of a veil means you have to increase the complexity of the veil by 2 in order to create a veil that basically has a one-way mirror. So,
which is more shifts.
Yep, which means you need more power.
How much power can you put into this safely, Andy?
Well, I can put in technically 5 without taking more than the initial point of stress I'm going to take for doing a thing. Or, well, I mean, I have a spirit block veil rote, but I'm guessing that's only to cover myself.
Yeah.
And that's also only 4 shifts. So,
Not like you got to worry about blowing the power in the building.
no, I got to worry about hurting myself potentially. I mean, we're not going to have anything else bad happen to us this
Never.
scene, right?
Not at all. We're not going to pull this open and they'll be undead or anything.
So I guess I'll put in 6. I mean, I'll go 5 technically, but 6 with my refinement.
Okay.
Which is higher than my conviction
okay.
by 1.
That means you'll take 2 points of mental stress,
Yep.
or you'll just check off the 2 box.
Yes.
And
And it's a discipline roll, right?
it is a discipline roll, but let me just see something here real fast. So where was I? 265. So you could make it last for the scene. And if you want to add shifts of power to it, you could add shifts of power to it. So I would say a scene is about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And every shift of power, you can move up 1 on the time increment. So a shift of power from 15 minutes would be half an hour. Another shift would be an hour. A shift after that would be a few hours, an afternoon, a day, etc.
Can't imagine we would need more than like 15 minutes.
Okay,
30
so
at
we'll say
most.
that it'll just be baseline difficulty.
Okay.
The difficulty of seeing, how hard do you want it to be for them to see you? And then if you want to be able to see out so you can walk around, that adds 2 to whatever that difficulty is. So how hard do you want the veil to be to pierce? And then plus 2 to that if you want to be able to see through the veil while you're walking around.
Okay. I mean, I want us to be able to see through the veil, and
Okay.
ideally we're invisible,
Okay.
or as close as I can get us to being invisible.
So what What
6
what
shifts
level?
last time. Pretty good.
So
Uh,
four shifts of being able to try and beat the veil, and then two with the
To be able to see.
scout.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okie doke. Roll your discipline roll. We'll see what happens.
6 shifts of power.
Hey, that's 8.
Yeah.
All right. So you
Oh my-
That is
What
a-
a nice time to
that
roll
is
a
a-
+4.
Amazing roll.
you successfully control this 6 power shift veil, and Harmony, you feel this like envelope of spirit magic just envelop the two of you with a whisper.
I
Uh,
look at Andy and I'm like, someday I'm gonna get you to teach me how to do that.
Uh-huh. Hopefully we won't need to do it again for a while.
And you hear some like shouting in the distance as people are trying to figure out why the power won't come back on.
Okay, we should really move.
Let's go.
It won't keep them from running into us.
Yep.
And you guys make you folks make your way through the hallways. It's not hard. The morgues are not hard things to. They're very straight corners, easy
Right.
to navigate. You hear a lot of people complaining about their cell phones not working. And eventually you make it to one of several essentially morgue rooms. What are y'all doing?
are there like files nearby that I can use to identify which, because I know like morgues tend to have like lots of bodies. Like, is there, I can't use a computer, but can I find like Manila
There is
folder
there
files?
is a clipboard on the wall that essentially lists who's in what cabinet.
Does it list like where they were found or cause of death or okay.
Just names.
All right,
I bet
then
that
I'm
list
just
is
gonna
on the
start opening
computer.
drawers.
That list is 100% on the computer.
It sure is.
Yep.
It's not anymore. Let's
well.
have a backup or something.
It's 100% in the cloud.
I guess we just start
We're gonna open
opening
drawers
freezers.
Of course you do.
until we find the ones that look like they've been partially eaten.
I was gonna say,
Which
look
will
for
be
the
very
ones that been.
distinctive, one assumes.
So as you begin to open these drawers, you start pulling them out, looking in. No, that's just a regular person.
Regular
Close
dead
it.
person.
That's just a regular dead person. No, some of them have been autopsied, some of them haven't been. And it's about that moment
Oh no. Here we go.
where something, Harmony,
Uh-oh.
you start hearing something.
Okay.
Only
Yeah.
Harmony does, though.
What am I being compelled by, Adam?
You are being compelled by the Kerr tablet.
Of course I am.
Uh,
I've learned too much. All right, I will take that fate point. What am I hearing?
So you hear what sounds like singing.
Okay.
It sounds faint and ethereal, but almost like a melody you've heard before, or maybe one like one you've heard before, but it sounds familiar. And Andy, you're like opening the drawers and closing the drawers, opening the drawer, pulling them out now, and Harmony, you just like wander away from Andy, out of the veil. You just step out of the veil,
Okay.
and you make your way to a different room, another room of bodies, and you walk over to one of the cabinets and you like click it open and pull it, and sitting inside is a body, like most bodies, but the music swells as you get close to it. And you reach out with your hand and you feel the music almost as if not only can you hear it, but you can you can feel it, like when your roommate or your neighbors are playing music so loud that it's vibrating your house. It's almost like that. And you lay your hand on the body and the music stops. and the thing's eyes pop open. And that's where we're going to end for the night because it's midnight.
Harmony's a cleric now.
No, that's Cole's job.
Oh no.
He's our cleric.
Oh jeez.
I just bring back from the dead.
How am I always on the wrong crime team?
Well, thank you for that bombshell, Adam.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's actually uncanny that wherever Cole goes, no crime is committed. And wherever Cole is not, there's massive amounts of crime being done horribly badly, like really bad.
Yeah.
Hearing about this every time and
we
just
actually let people do
shaking my
things they're
head.
good at.
I'm just like, oh god, y'all, no.
Without fail.
But that is going to wrap us for this evening. If you enjoyed yourself, well, you should come back next Friday and figure out what exactly is about to happen in the morgue in Portland, Maine. And you can also come by and see what the other people are going to be doing, totally unaware that their wizards are in super trouble, maybe. As always, I am your GM here at Roll for Change with Portland Files. I am Adam. You can find me on the tweeters at Adam_J_Pearson. This quarter for Roll for Change, we are raising money for the ACLU, a fantastic organization that helps lots of different peoples. And you should donate if you can. If you can't, we appreciate you just stopping by and saying hello or watching and lurking like other people do. And spreading the word if you can. And we appreciate anything. I will let my players outro themselves. And for the first game of season 2, why don't we say what our conspiracy theories are for this season? Only one conspiracy theory, because we're just getting started. And we will go in reverse order. So we will start with Nick.
Hello, I am Nick. I use he, him. I have been playing Percy, who also uses he, him. You can find me online at 2knick, TWOKNIKK, on the Twitter machine. My conspiracy theory is that we are following the wrong leads because Annabelle's already in Dragonland, and that's bad.
I mean, who knows? Excellent. Next, we will move across to Danielle.
Hi everybody, Danielle, Raconteur. You can find me here tomorrow for Star Wars at noon. My conspiracy theory, so I'll stay away from the main plot, but from my own personal Kerr tablet shenanigans, my current theory is that the information contained on this tablet was quote unquote erased in the Oblivion War. I'm reaching deep.
Maybe. We'll see. That's a good conspiracy theory. Continuing on to CJ.
Hey everyone, I've been CJ. I've been Cole, the criminal who is always in the wrong place. Maybe that should be my trouble. At least I can get fate points out of you guys embarrassing me. My current conspiracy theory. I think Annabelle still can't get into Dragonland, but is trying. I think we'll find her picking the lock, I think. Because I think she's going to wait till we pick the lock and then knock us over and run in. Probably because that's how I'd do it.
Indiana Jones villain.
Yep. And I absolutely, you can find us here tomorrow, 12 hours from now, or a little less than, for Star Wars with a good chunk of this crew. And we are all, again, doing donations for ACLU. So more stuff, more fun, and more shenanigans. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Shenanigans indeed. Continuing on along the way, we are to Zach.
Hey, I'm Zach. I've been playing Andy, You can find me at Segorals on Twitter. You can find me here tomorrow playing Hal Tech, the Padawan in hiding, who's not really hiding as much these days. Conspiracy theory, just one. Wow.
For now.
For now. Oh boy. I think that whatever's killing its way towards Boston is a deliberate distraction for us by Annabelle, probably to keep us away from what she's doing. That this is a red herring, kind of like what Nick was saying. I mean, one we can't afford to ignore, but still.
Blood red.
Yeah, Warden Wells.
Yeah, that's a thing. I love that. Andy doesn't.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Nothing bad.
Nothing bad comes from being a warden ever.
Nope. Mm.
It's a super swell gig.
Yep.
Last but certainly not least, ending the night with Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. You can find me at ABCDFAR on Twitter, and I was playing Nikki, who did not shift tonight, which is surprising, but that happens. Shit. Everybody took the good conspiracy theories, and I can't think of one.
There's still so many left.
Like, shit. What are we gonna do with this whole Triskelion thing? Why does Nikki have more than others? That's really interesting.
You're the
You
leader.
put too much stress on me, Adam. Shut up. I can't do this. Stop it.
It'll be fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
Leadership
Yep.
positions right here.
Anyways, that has been us for this evening. We hope you have enjoyed it. Please don't forget to love each other and please stay whimsical. Is it Friday yet? Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.